What's up, nerds? Welcome to NGR Radio, episode 51. If you're watching the video, welcome to the Barcade. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, Matthew Keel. Matt, we made it past 50 episodes.
Yep, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, what's happening here?
The train is now
us,
derailing downhill.
Yeah, it is. It's already derailing. Joining us, the third seat on NGR Radio, Moose Kluel.
What's up, man? How you doing, Corey?
Good. I'm excited. I'm
excited too.
Oh, there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes of NGR, and it's like this huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I'm just like, I'm ready to get everything just
out there
away from me.
I'm ready to vomit onto a computer screen and make it a podcast.
And joining us from the Brew Review, John Martin.
Hey, everybody. I've been here before.
I'm excited because NGR Radio is adding the Brew Review to the NGR family.
Woohoo! Yes, we were just talking about that, and I am super excited for that, actually.
Yes, so am I.
So we're going to be bringing all kinds of beer news, commentary, reviews, all kinds of good stuff for anybody out there who likes beer. As we talked about before the show, obviously Matt has been the representative for Beer Love on the show for quite some time, and he's actually a co-host on our Brew Review podcast. So check it out.
And as long as my liver holds out, I will continue to do it.
And if it doesn't, you better keep up. You're not leaving.
Okay.
All right. I don't give a shit if you're on dialysis, okay? You will be there.
You'll get a dialysis, man.
You're doing it from the bed. You're doing it from the hospital.
That sounds like heaven.
You better carry that
bed. Oh, that'd be so good.
You better carry that microphone in when you're peeing blood, Matt.
Facebook messages are contractually. I can hold them up in court. Okay.
Conversations with John and I are bringing a microphone into a bathroom is not new.
Oh, you're a dick.
I wish I could say that wasn't true on shows that I've been on, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. And
I mean, at least I mute myself and excuse myself.
Oh man, I can tell you so many times I've been on PlayStation and one of my friends is walking to the bathroom and you can hear him pee because his bathroom's right next to his game room. He's like, hold on, I gotta pee.
I'm Black Mage Martin.
Was this between matches of Rocket League? Is this when this was?
Might have been probably Destiny.
It's not a joke, John.
It was actually during a Destiny raid.
Oh, was it the one I fell asleep in?
No, this was way after you stopped playing.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah, so that's a thing. Another thing I kind of want to announce is we've been testing a couple other shows. Nerds Gone Platinum, our PlayStation test show. Well, Moose and I were talking, and Moose is going to head up that department. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, gonna get that going. We need some Sony people on there. Yeah, can't be having an intern bots on there.
Yeah. I mean, I want to have content for everybody, but when it's really annoying. It's really annoying when you listen to someone talk about something they don't really know much about, and like I hate it when I watch content that people like. I like Sony. I like their exclusives.
Yeah,
but I don't. Matt, you don't count because everybody just likes to listen to you be an idiot. But Moose,
his main talent for sure.
His main thing is.
Dang.
Hey, it doesn't hurt when they're right. It doesn't hurt when they're right.
That's cold.
I mean, he's wearing a hat from 2001 and a White Castle T-shirt. I mean, what do you expect from the guy?
Employee of the Month, 1971.
Weren't even. All right. I'm just going with it.
So
hand-me-downs are the best. I'm just saying.
So Moose is going to be hosting this PlayStation show. What's the PlayStation show called again?
Nerds Gone Platinum.
Nerds Gone Platinum. That's right. I saw that the other day.
Yeah,
that'd be good stuff.
I've been wanting to get a couple other things off the ground for some time, but like Matt and I were talking the other day, the last time I did this big, huge network thing, everything kind of fell on me, and I just like, I don't
work yourself to death.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. You're talking about the DNA thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually really impressed with all the work that must have took for you putting in. I'm still impressed with this new plan that you've got, but I could see how it's taking some of the onus off of you. But still, I'm impressed with how much work you put into this stuff. So cheers to you for that.
Thanks, man. I just, like I was telling you before the show, I'm approaching it way different, where I want NGR radio, especially like the YouTube and especially the website, to be a place where our friends who have great ideas and want to show off what they can do and do things with their ideas. I want NGR radio to be a platform for people to get their stuff out there, because I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I feel like, we've grown and we're kind of big enough now to where, people recognize us. Even if they don't listen to us, they recognize us, like, from Facebook or Twitter or something. And they recognize Matt from everywhere. They recognize Moose from online and now this show. And like, people recognize me because I wear a hat all the time. And if I take it off, everybody's like,
well, I mean, the general idea that I'm kind of getting is just like, everybody's doing these things that are, or has an interest in these things that are kind of related, with me being the exception there, I guess, but somewhat related. And it's like, well, how about we all work together? Let's kind of team up. Let's co-op this shit.
Combined, John, I've been drinking beer on podcasts for like 110 episodes.
Yeah, you've had more beer on camera than I have.
So
get your game up, John.
So like, John, we talked, we're bringing you in, we're bringing in the guys from World 1-1 podcast, Larry, and obviously Ed's been on a lot of stuff for NGR and been a big part of NGR, especially on the Nintendo side of things. So, there's a lot of good ideas out there, and I want to be able to, allow NGR to be a platform for them to show off their ideas. When, building something from scratch is hard. It's really hard, especially, you got to think about what's our logo going to look like? What's our Facebook page going to, like, what kind of content's that going to do? Like, are we going to have a community page? Are we going to have a website? What's our Twitter going to look like? And you got to be able to market Twitter differently than you market Facebook. And, I met with someone today about, marketing this stuff and trying to grow, something from the ground up. And it was really helpful. And if I can help facilitate someone's ideas, if any of us can help facilitate anybody's ideas and let them run with it and see what happens, like, I want to be able to do that.
Well,
dude, I totally. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Trying to like branch out, and like it's even frustrating to try and grow the brand when you're even trying to think of the content on the shows. Like you were saying, like kind of you just want to do this show and maybe the Nintendo one, and I think that's a good fit because you love Nintendo. I like Nintendo, but like it would be like you trying to talk on the PlayStation, the Platinum Nerds Gone Platinum podcast, like. I love Sony. I love the PlayStation 4. That's usually all I game on, that Vita. So it's like it's perfect fit for me. It'd be awesome, you come in and guest host every once in a while, but you're perfect on the Nintendo because you've got a Switch. You love the 3DS. Like you like Nintendo, what they're doing, and that's awesome. So it's just
you both are embedded in those environments,
right, in those ecosystems.
And the thing.
And, like having us come in and step in and say, listen, I'll do this if you want me to do this because I would love to do this, takes the pressure off you and allows you the time to say, I don't have to come up with content for the Xbox show, for the PlayStation show, for the Nintendo show. I just have to try and help curate, like you were saying, like everything that's going on. Like make sure everybody's content's on there and make sure everybody has access so that everybody has one portal to go to and then people can just pick what they want. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think
that's
that
the
works
idea.
out the best for you. So
And that's the
it's
idea.
gonna be awesome.
Plus, like, if we bring in people, like, you know, if you need a co-host one day for Nerds Gone Platinum, like, you can plug me in there. You can plug Matt in there. I'm sure John wouldn't mind coming on once in a while.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, why did I get mentioned last? I'm playing Horizon right now.
Yeah, and like,
we're gonna talk about that, John. I got some questions for you. So.
Yeah, and like,
hell, I do too.
When God of War comes out, I definitely want to be on NGP because I love that series. And like, you know, I like Sony exclusives enough to where I'll play them. And when a big one comes out, I will be all over it. You know, you know, Horizon's next on my list to finish. You know, I just keep playing Mass Effect because I am really enjoying Mass Effect. I don't see what the problem is with it. But
I'm totally with you on that. What are you playing on?
Xbox.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I was just wondering where you're playing it because I know the consoles have had some issues, but I hear it's not. It's like a shotgun effect of like who has the issues. It's not all.
Yeah, it's very random. I've heard that there are all these problems on PlayStation, and I got through the whole thing, and I was just like, I don't know what the hell people are talking about. That's not discounting or saying that they're lying at all. They are. I 100% believe they're experiencing those issues, but I had a great time with it and had very few issues on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's just complete. It's just random. It's not like oh, this issue is specific. Like when they were doing the Division and the update deleted stuff on the Xbox version instead of the PlayStation version, everybody lost their characters.
I lost my character. That's the only reason why I stopped playing the Division because that update deleted my character. So
I've said that I will pick up Andromeda when it's $20. I'll play.
Yeah, and I waited till it was $34.99 on Amazon, and they fixed all the bugs and all the patches. And I'm like, you know, earlier this year I said I want to play more of like a single game than try to play little bits and pieces of every game that comes out. Like, I played the crap out of Zelda, and I'm going back to Zelda because that DLC just dropped. I want to get back to Horizon, and I want to finish Mass Effect. Those are the 3 games right now that I'm really like aiming to beat, and it's
you need to finish Horizon before that DLC drops.
I know, and I'm excited.
You get 25% off if you pre-order the DLC now. As far as I know, the discount's still up. But anyways, that's coming. I think late August.
Yeah, it is still up because I actually ordered it today. So
basically, I just wanted to kind of like update everybody on kind of what's happening on our YouTube channel and our website. So I mean, if you want to like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube page, it'd be great. We're gonna
and somebody please make a GIF of John's happy dance right now, please.
We need a GIF of that.
that's so good. So good.
I like John's happy dance.
So Moose is gonna be heading up our PlayStation stuff. You know, World 1-1's Larry and I are in discussions of doing the Xbox show and kind of playing around with the ideas he has for certain things. And you know, NGR radio is still the heaping trash fire that keeps going after 50 episodes, and it's gonna go for until one of us is not alive.
I think Moose just got attacked by his dogs.
That's
cool. You too.
Archer people are amazing. No, but I'm sorry, I'm stepping on you, Corey. I apologize already.
Oh no.
The one thing that when Corey and I started this, because he sort of pitched the idea of doing something a little outside of DNA that was more his speed and friendly, and when he approached me about it, I'm like, dude, I'd be honored. And I was at a time where I was not really thinking about I was thinking I was going to be done with this. I was real close. And the one thing that Corey and I agreed on, he said, it doesn't really matter what it is. And I mean, you could see that shine through all the previous 50 episodes of this show. But we wanted to make sure it was something that no matter what, we succeeded or we failed together. And we wanted to just, at the very minimum, we wanted it to be something fun we did every week. Because the rest of the week at work, whatever you're doing, sometimes it can be a lot of painful bullshit. And we did not want to make this painful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we want to for anybody that decides, hey, we'd like to talk about working together, because that's really all this is. It doesn't matter if we were all sort of hopping onto the Brew review, or if Moose had something that he was interested in bringing us all on. As long as we were all together, it really doesn't matter. Yeah,
and I think I don't really want to bring up any of this situation that's going on, but Antonio's finally getting back out there and doing his new Nintendo Switch show.
Finally.
Yeah, and that made me really excited. And as soon as you told me that, you and I reached out to him and said, "Look, dude, any way we can help." And I know we do a Nintendo show, but any way we can help you promote your new stuff, I'm excited that Antonio's getting back out there, because he adds an element to podcasting that I don't really.
This is news to me, but I'm a big fan of Antonio.
He's a great guy. What he does the best is he keeps things on track. He's a great host. He does cover good content and all that stuff. But when you first listen to the Platinum Achievements podcast, he did a great job of moving the show along. So he does a great job of hosting and covering the material. So
was that a shot at me? Are you saying I don't?
Yes, I'm saying you don't.
I don't.
Yeah, no.
We all don't, John. We all
stay
don't.
On track at all.
It was a shot at me. I take direct offense. Coming for you.
So, I wanted to give Antonio's Switch show a shout out too, because I know it's been an interesting journey to get him back into this realm of podcasting and whatever. So I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy that's.
It must have only been a matter of time, because he's a creative person at heart. I can't see him not being creative and doing something in that space. And shout out to Antonio. Hopefully you're watching, dude. I've been a big fan of yours for a while. You're one of the original dudes who inspired me to get creative when I started Ariana's House. So I'm glad to hear that he's back into that space too. So
yeah.
Dude's a born producer. I know he'll produce something cool.
Yeah, anything we all can do to help Antonio get that show off the ground too. Yeah,
well, I'm not going to do anything to help you. I'm not going to do anything to help you.
You can listen.
Just to be clear. Yeah,
you can listen.
I'll listen.
That helps.
Don't message me for help on anything. I got 3 kids. I'm busy. But good luck.
He has 3 kids and he hosts a show with me.
Well, I used to have a show where they were involved and we cooked a meal every week, and it took me 12 hours to edit a damn video. So our videos. Damn. Yeah,
Ariana's video is not easy. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
It is when you download the MP4 off of YouTube and just hit copy paste and process the video with an intro.
With Ariana's House, dude.
I know. I totally get it.
So much work.
All the stuff we were doing with DNA and stuff, that took forever. And we had a beer show on there. We had a movie show, TV show, Destiny specific show. We had everything you could possibly think of, and editing all that video. Oh, I feel you on editing video. That's why this show does not get edited. This is basically a raw video.
We just raw dog it out there. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Maybe just raw dog it.
How does that Kanye West lyric go? Eric got the raw dog. He'd like the raw dog, caught something on the Usher tour. He had to let it burn. Something like that.
Sounds like the name of the episode, Raw Dog on the Internet.
Yep.
But anyways, I just kind of wanted to thank everybody for kind of pushing this platform forward. And I talked to, Jamie from Life of Gaming, his show, the Xbox Dive, him and Chris White, I believe, have just posted their second episode. So they're going to be co-hosting or coming on as guests on our Xbox show soon. If you want an Xbox show, because we don't really talk a lot about Xbox on this show, Xbox Dive is definitely that show for you. So you check that out. I just want to make sure I got everybody's thing.
Is that
also the Brew review? No, shut up, Matt. Also, the Brew review. Go check us out.
Shut up, Matt.
Make sure you unsubscribe to the Brew review. Thumbs down.
What? No.
Mean
Hey,
comments.
hey, Deering, slow your goddamn roll, sir. No one puts John Martin in the corner.
I like this. He's like defending me. I don't even have to fight for myself.
Right?
I want to see Patrick Swayze lift you up in a cool dance number.
Which one? Me? Lift me up?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, if he lifts John up, I'm down. He
Good luck.
touches me, I'm a fucking stomp that motherfucker. This is what you
R.I.P.
like everything in your career except Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Have you seen Patrick Swayze lately? Is he still alive?
I think he's dead.
He's dead.
No, he died, didn't he?
Patrick
so he's not
Swayze
lifting
passed
up.
away. Pancreatic cancer. Got him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm not going to make any jokes.
Sad. I mean,
sad.
like,
Hashtag sad.
yeah.
So
When you,
But still,
when you get
Roadhouse
diagnosed
was
with
awesome.
that, if I get diagnosed with that, I'm hitting fucking breweries and burgers like you wouldn't believe.
Go crazy.
Because you don't have very long.
No,
And
it's a fucking killer.
It will kill you in no time.
Kill you quicker than any of the worst STDs in the world.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
This is a weird comparison. All right.
Anyways,
Well, everybody says, STDs are an instant killer. I hear that a lot at my job every day. I'm like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
ah man, it's just sure. Anyways, what have we been playing now that we've kind of got all the
John, what have you been playing, man?
Are we going to go into Horizon now?
Well, we could go into questions. I was just asking you what you're playing lately. Man.
Well, right now what I'm playing is Horizon Zero Dawn, but
That's a video game.
we're going to have to, preface any questions that are going to be asked around that with the fact that I've only been playing it for like 2 days since. Holy crap, Moose!
Is that
What are you
game
looking for?
time, or is this 2 days? Like you've only touched it
2
twice
days in the valley.
No, I've only touched it twice, and in both cases, because I just got it this past Monday. So I've only played it during the week. My game time is usually on the weekends. That's when I really deep dive. So I've only actually played like 2 hours of it. But
Have you
needless to
killed
say-
any metal things?
yes, I have spent a majority of my time. We got to our first main mission after you get past the part where you're playing as the child version of the main character.
You're done with Chucky, right?
Yeah, we're done with that.
Oh my
little part.
god, yes, she looks like Chucky. Jesus.
That's fucking horrifying.
But that said, I really, really thought that was a cool intro to the game. Letting you play as the younger version. Yes, she looks a little funny, but
a little
time,
she's real shiny.
At the same time, though, it really was cool to really give you a connection to this character from birth very quickly.
Because you're building emotions with her.
You're building those emotions with her. And yeah, it only takes like an hour, but by the time you get to play with what becomes, your main character that you're going to be using throughout the game, that little bit of time, I think it really is effective to have that, because you then have this emotional bond where I'm not just jumping in with this adult that I'm learning their backstory. I understand where this character comes from. I think it was a brilliant decision on their part to kind of get you through that. My wife actually mentioned that she would like to see a game, and I kind of agree with her, where they really lean into that, where you play long portions of a game, if not the entire game, as a child version of the character. And I think, in all honesty, I think it really was effective, because now, just after an hour, I'm already emotionally invested in this character, because I know the circumstances of their birth. I know the circumstances of their childhood and what they went through. And now I feel like I've got a better baseline connection with the character moving forward. So that said, I got to adulthood, or, whatever, I guess in that world.
Have you done the proving?
I have not done the proving yet. I spent, after getting to adulthood, right before you're supposed to do the proving, now I'm just running around. I've spent all last night running around just shooting metal things in the face.
Yeah.
Getting
that's
a fucking good time,
It's
isn't
so
it,
much
John?
fun.
It's a really goddamn good time.
Right,
And when you unlock stuff later in the game, so like like I was telling you when you posted that you got the game, and I was like, all right, you got to be careful, John, because when I was playing the game, I got so sidetracked by enjoying the gameplay so much and farming for stuff and killing metal animals left and right. I was twice the level requirement for the next quest, which was like 16. So I was like level 32. I was level 50 before I even got a third of the way into the main story. That's how much side questing I did. And and a lot of people, and what I was trying to illustrate to you was like, listen, what you need to do is, if you want to do that, that's fine. But just know that the game's going to be hella easy at the end, so you want to bump up the difficulty, or just stick with the main quest line story. And I know you're not one for hunting platinums, but this is a real fun platinum, and it's pretty dang easy. But
I'm probably not going to go for the platinum, but
that's what I figured.
I'm going through the game in a very different way than I go through most games.
Okay.
Because as I mentioned to you when we talked separate outside of the show, I'm playing with my wife. Now the reason for that is my wife watched the announcement for this game live with me when it was first announced. I can't remember. Was that at E3 or something? It was one of those industry shows
last year, I think,
at E3, and she watched it with me, and she basically went, "Holy shit!" And my wife is a gamer, but she's not a big gamer. So we used to, especially not anymore. We played through the Gears games as 1 and 2 together. We played through Halo 1 through 3 together. You know, a bunch of Dynasty Warriors games. That's our guilty pleasure together. And she's not a big gamer. But when she saw this one, she was like, holy shit. She was the one who told me, holy shit, we have to get that game when she saw the trailer for this game. So because of that, I'm playing through it with her. So the way that I'm going to go through it is when I can manage the time for me and her to sit down together, we're going to do the main story and a few maybe side quests. And then anytime that I want to play, and that's kind of why I love the format of this game too, anytime that I want to play without her, if she's not home or available or whatever, but I feel like playing, that's when I'm going to focus on just going out and killing a bunch of metal shit, which is why that's basically all I did last night, is because she was busy with the kids and all this other shit. And I just sat there and didn't do any quests, just ran around and killed a bunch of metal dinosaurs. So
and by doing that, you gain experience. So just keep doing that.
Yeah,
and have fun with it.
And then not only
so
that,
much fun.
Not only that, like you could take that experience and throw it into your leveling, and so you could be like, I want to level up my stealth portion, or I want to level up my scavenger portion. I can't remember what exactly the trees were, but I mean, you could get it where you could notch like 3 arrows at a time and just tear, like, you know, like the Thunderjaw apart in like no time. And so it's
it's a good time.
Oh, it is. I want to go play it right now.
I'm gonna do that right after this show. I want to go.
I am totally going to play.
But like also, but like that's the good thing. Like, see, you've got the perfect fit there because your wife wants to watch the main stories. So, like you said, like when you get time to play, do the side quests and just start leveling up your characters. And I will recommend one thing though: when you can go to the Hunter's Lodge, do all the trials for the Hunter's Lodge because you get some kick-ass freaking weapons from that, and it gives you a crap ton of experience. And it's just like. It's awesome. Like it's amazing. Like the weapons are just freaking awesome. But
so I did have a second game that I was going to mention that I'm also playing. I don't know though if did you still have some questions you wanted to ask me, Moose?
You're enjoying it. That's all I wanted to know. You've already stated my question.
Oh, well, hell yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's been like 2 hours and it's already competing for game of the year for me with the other game because as you guys know, I don't play a lot of games, but
right.
The other game that I've played this year that's really been a big hit for me has been Mass Effect Andromeda, which Corey was talking about earlier, and I absolutely loved it. It got me, well, I want to say it got me back into gaming because I was in a slump where I wasn't gaming much. I was working on Ariana's House, my old YouTube show, or the show that I have on hiatus a lot, and I got into Final Fantasy 15, and then the next game that I played was Mass Effect Andromeda. God, that game was so fun. I think it was Matt, you said earlier, or was it Corey maybe, talking about the negative reception a bit. And again, not discounting anybody's experience, not saying that they were wrong to feel any way about it, but I think it was just an amazing game, and for sure one of the best gaming experiences that I've had in quite some time. So it's really sad. Go ahead. It
just goes to prove that like everybody has different tastes, and something I've noticed kind of weaving in and out of podcasting and listening to other people's podcasts and stuff. There's a lot of people that are kind of like overly critical, and like I kind of took the problems that people have with this game and kind of lined them up with some of the rumors and the stories that are coming out of that studio. Like, you know, they had some grand idea for this game, and then they had to shove everything into the Frostbite engine and make it work in 18 months. They had to basically start from scratch.
It's another case of EA forcing the game out on them. They did it with Mass Effect 3.
I feel like if that game had one more year even, like, I mean, I am enjoying it so far, and like, you know, I love the characters so far. I like that we're getting away from Shepard and everything that happened in Mass Effect, the original trilogy, which I still love the original trilogy. I still think the ending of Mass Effect 3 is great. I don't care what anybody says. I like how, you know, there's a AI named Sam. I like how integrated Sam is into your character customization and creation, and just part of the story as a whole. You know, I feel like everybody was just so overly critical on this game, and I feel like a lot of people wanted to be. I feel like a lot of people wanted to be because of how they felt about Mass Effect 3's ending.
Well, because of how they felt about Mass Effect 3's ending, plus the pedigree and kind of legendary status of that previous series really had an impact on it. But that's what's really upsetting about this to me, in my opinion, is not just that some people were so critical of it, but that reception, the way that it was received, is having a real world impact now, because there's been news coming out now that BioWare is now putting Mass Effect on hiatus. They're not sure that they're even going to continue with this Andromeda trilogy that they were supposed to. The DLC that the single player DLC that they were supposed to release may no longer be getting released. And again, not discounting anybody's gripes with the game, I don't think that it was so bad that it doesn't deserve to move forward as a property, or even for the DLC to move forward. Like, again, I can understand why, given the developer's pedigree, you may feel like it's a step back, and that's fine, but it's still better than a lot of trash, a lot of shit that is out there. And I feel like it's a victim of its own previous success, and its own previous critical praise, because people are going to be harder on it, and I'm cool with that. You know, relating it to beer, when I have a brewery that puts out great beer after great beer after great beer, and then I have a mediocre or bad beer from them, I'm usually pretty hard on it, just because I know that that standard that they set for themselves is so much higher. Same thing goes for games, and I think that's what happened with this game. But I do think that that's unfortunate for us as a community, because this game absolutely deserves a sequel. Absolutely deserves a sequel, and I'm no longer sure that it's going to get one.
And now with hiatus, their big showing of Anthem at E3, EA having the Star Wars license, you know, they're talking about bringing Dragon Age back for some capacity. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't get another Mass Effect game till after they lose the Star Wars license, when they really feel like they need to bring a sci-fi single player game back. And it also depends on how Anthem does, because Anthem looks pretty sci-fi too. So
I wonder if Anthem does really well, that once that is finished, EA's like, okay, you guys, the original team that did Mass Effect, can try and do the sequel or try and reboot it. I have a feeling, from what I've seen, they'd probably reboot it. You know what I mean? Like kind of the same, same kind of, Andromeda or whatever, but just completely like.
I hope not, man. That world is so cool that they set up. Corey, you haven't finished it, right?
No, I literally just started it last night. I'm only about 5 or 6 hours in. I just got to the second planet.
I will not spoil it for you, but let me tell you that while you were saying that it's not connected to the last few games, there is a universal connection, and it is a part of the same universe, and that becomes evident. Especially, there is a certain side quest that you can actually completely ignore, which I think was a bad choice on BioWare's part to make this side quest optional, because it really changes the whole kind of
dynamic
meaning of the game, the dynamic of the game.
You said this in our one-on-one chat, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think it was you were talking to Jesse about it, where you guys found this side quest, and it basically reconciles everything, and all of a sudden, the story is good.
It's a different game when you do this side quest, and like I said, I don't know that I think this was a very good decision. No, I'll go ahead and say it. It was a terrible decision on BioWare's part to make it optional, because it changes the whole dynamic of the story that you're getting. And if you're a previous fan of the series, I'm not going to say that it directly ties in, but it does make things make sense, and it makes this game a part of the wider universe. So with that said, I do hope that they don't reboot it, because it's almost the perfect execution of making a new game that is its own thing and is kind of its separate entity, but still being connected to the previous series that is beloved. So I want to see them continue down on this path. If we get another reboot, I'll be very disappointed personally, because I think technical issues aside, they did a very good job with universe building.
Yeah. Do you think this game suffers from having Mass Effect in the
Jumping the shark?
God, that's a good question. You don't know jumping the shark?
I know what that means, but I'm like, what does that have to do with it?
Well, I mean,
who's Fonzie?
They're kind of
Corey. You're making it worse.
They are kind of jumping the shark into where they're going big. And in all honesty, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because you will get into that game and you'll be like, you'll have a lot of questions until you complete that side quest that I mentioned. Like, why are they here? What happened in the past universe in the last game series that we were doing? It doesn't make a lot of sense until you see some of the revelations from some of those side quests in the later in the game. However, with that said, I don't know if it suffers from having the name Mass Effect. It definitely does, as far as the expectations that people apparently face.
I think that's the problem. Right there. People are expecting, AAA, like top notch. Like, I mean, it's the Mass Effect series.
More than just AAA. It's
the Mass Effect series.
It's iconic. It's freaking iconic, right?
I played Mass Effect 1 freaking 7 or 8 times, man. 7 or 8 times.
Same here for 2. And I played through 3 a handful of times.
I didn't even finish 3. I need to finish 3. I had so I recently bought a PlayStation 3 for Demon's Souls. And so the trilogy was dirt cheap. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy it, because I never finished 3. So there was
a BioWare mistake for sure. How come we didn't get a Mass Effect goddamn trilogy on next-gen systems before Andromeda?
Because they don't do remasters, and they're freaking dumb. Like that, you are leaving like what we were talking about in our chat about, Rob posted that about the Virtual Console and the SNES Classic. You were like, they're leaving money on the table. They're just like, that's leaving money on the table. Remaster it, make it look better. Take the time to do it.
Tell you a remaster that would make a shit ton of money. 5 words. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes, that would make a crap ton of money.
And these past 3 to 4 years, when Star Wars has become fucking cool again, Knights of the Old Republic is literally a cash grab.
Yeah,
it is the cash grab that nobody has an excuse to say, no, I'm not going to do that because you're just grabbing money. KOTOR was a fucking masterpiece. KOTOR 2 was cool. Then they fixed it and made it better.
Okay.
The modders fixed that game and made it goddamn awesome. But, you know what EA
game I really want remastered?
Oh, God.
Remember Kingdoms of Amalur?
Reckoning?
The action. Yeah.
That game is so good. That game is so good.
Yeah, it's one of the best
that
games
is
ever. And it's just like
that is like Borderlands meeting a medieval RPG where all of a sudden you're just like, oh, you've been fighting all this time with weapons. Oh, and you want to decide, you just want to use magic? I'm going to respec everything to magic. And then all of a sudden I'm a badass fucking wizard. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I did play it.
And it had awesome combat.
Switching on the
Chakrams are the bomb, yo. Chakrams are the goddamn shit, in my opinion. We need more chakrams.
Okay. Too bad Rhode Island.
If you don't know, get a PS3 or an Xbox 360. Play Kingdom
I have a
Amalur.
PS3.
I played it for a little bit. I remember it being fun. I think I just wasn't in the mood for that type of experience at the time.
I don't play it for story. Do not, like, honestly, get music, get podcasts, put them in your ears, and just play the game and read the tutorials for combat.
It's just fun.
Oh man, it's honestly that game's combat is fun on the level of Horizon. Like I just loved walking through that world and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill that thing over there because it looked at me wrong." Boom, good combat.
It's almost got old school God of War style combat is almost what it feels like. A little bit slowed down, but like, just that, fluid combat. It's so good. Oh, so good. So,
I almost wanted what have I been playing?
Yeah.
What have I been playing? I've been playing Persona 5. Persona 5 is so good.
Yesterday for the first time in fucking forever.
Persona 5 is so good. Oh,
you like
that game. Oh man,
well, I know you've been hitting Zelda pretty hard too. So are you?
I haven't. As I said the last time I was on this show, I hadn't touched a thing other than a Vita in like a month.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing 2 games, and I have a new lady in my life, and she wants to learn Spelunky, and
she's going down a dark path.
I did everything I could to warn her. No,
if she asks how to play Helldivers, that's a super dark path.
She also wants to play Dark Souls. It's scary. I'm like, I don't know if you know what you're in for on this one.
Anyway,
she's like, I'm down. Anyway, but I was playing Persona 5, and that game oozes style. Like that team, that game director, and I always forget his name, but I never forget the name of the composer. He's my favorite composer in video games right now. His name is Shoji Meguro, and I shit you not, that motherfucker is the most versatile composer in video game history.
Hey, Matt, I'd like to ask you a question.
What?
So I am, I've heard about Persona 5 a lot. I'm a big RPG fan, right? Everything that I've heard about it makes, as far as screenshots that I've seen, I haven't gotten a lot of details on it. And in all honesty, it sounds boring. I have an open slot in my GameFly queue, and I'm interested in you trying to convince me, as somebody who hasn't played Persona and hasn't anything in the series, and on the surface is kind of hesitant, convince me to put that as next in my GameFly queue.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a series of questions then.
Okay.
Are you okay reading text versus voice?
I can be in some cases. It's not my preferred option, but yeah.
Are you a 40? Are you a Final Fantasy person?
Huge. You should know that.
Okay. I'm asking questions, John.
I'm a huge Final Fantasy person, and also one of the things that I love about the new Final Fantasies is that they're voice acted. So, so that's kind of.
Are you okay with turn-based?
Love turn-based combat.
Okay,
it's my favorite style. In all honesty,
right up your alley then.
Like,
really?
Like honestly, there's not much that should turn you away from Persona at this point.
The story just sounded so silly, and just like the whole concept sounded so silly.
Okay. Now, when you say that, and yes, I know I'm interrupting you, and I don't apologize for it this time. Examine the story in Final Fantasy and tell me how not silly it is.
Yeah,
I want you now. You convince me.
Well, no. You're absolutely right. The story in Final Fantasy is silly, but what I mean is Final Fantasy at least takes itself seriously, no matter how silly that comes off. I don't know. Persona, it always came off like, are you just like a high schooler, like trying to date girls and shit?
That's part of it.
It's a side thing.
Okay, but
you're still fighting.
The way I look at Persona is, I think it might actually be my favorite story in video games for no other reason than it takes itself seriously enough, but points out its own bullshit. Because especially in the beginning of the game, when everyone is going into quote unquote the other world, in Persona 5, it's the metaverse. In Persona 4, it's the Midnight Channel. And they're like, this is kind of crazy, and I don't get how any of it makes sense. That's how every character in that game encounters that world. They're like, this is kind of bullshit, yo. But in the writing sort of shows that each character just sort of comes to accept the ridiculousness of it. Just like I would, and this is where this becomes really subjective. By the time I had played Persona 4, and I had never played another Persona prior to 4 on PS2, I actually, said to myself, this is kind of how I have encountered adulthood. And rather than explaining my own experiences, just look at when you finally became an adult and had to deal with some bullshit at work. And you're like, none of this makes sense, but I have to do this. There's a lot of that in the opening vignettes of Persona as a game series. 3 had it, 4 had it, 5 definitely has it. But I think I don't want to say the mechanic, but like the story loop is actually pretty cool. In Persona 4, it was every character in your party sort of confronting the dark aspects of themselves and saying, you know what? I do have these shitty parts about me. But those shitty parts contribute to the whole that is me, so I'm going to accept them. In Persona 5, the story loop is you are dealing with somebody else who is ultimately a shitty person, and you are trying to find a way to change their shitty ways. And I think that is a cool fucking thing. Whether or not, it makes sense as a book, I don't care. Because while I'm playing the game and the way it writes characters weaving in and out of each story, all of it fits, and none of it really sort of reaches, other than the fact that, hey, you're playing a video game, so it has to be bonkers at some point because it's a video game.
Okay, well, I gave you a task. I just wanted to mention I did give you a task, and you probably can't see here.
Oh no, I see.
I'm trying to show you. On my list now is Persona 5.
Well,
so that's coming. I'll have it by next week. most likely. So you have convinced me.
I want to let you know I've been playing it for, I guess, a total of. I restarted my save from because I got it day one, watched the intro, went through the first part of it. I think I've been playing it for a total of 7 hours, and I'm about to get to. I'm about to get to the
first dungeon.
Well, the castle. Like you go to the castle multiple times because everything is prefabbed as sort of a heist. So you have to like case it, figure things out, deal with other character shit, and sort of understand your enemy at this point. And I think I'm about to get to the point where I go and fuck that asshole up.
Nice.
So I would say go to where you fuck the first asshole up. Like actually finish that part of it. And if you're not in, leave. If you're not in at that point, you're never going to.
Well, all I was asking really from you, in all honesty, and this isn't the fact that I put it on my queue isn't a guarantee that I'm going to enjoy it.
Of course.
But I was not convinced that it's something that I should even try. You've succeeded in making it sound, with even your questions on the things that I prefer and stuff. You succeeded in making me believe that it is something that I should at least try. And hey, I might love it, I might not love it. Another recent game that I was playing, for example, that happened with was Nier. I played Nier. I rented Nier. That was the last thing that I had. I just sent it back, and now Persona 5 will be replacing it. But Nier was one of those games where I was convinced to try it because of people talking about, like I've seen people talk about Persona 5. I don't get a lot of what it is about the game. I just get a lot of,
it's awesome. It's just superlative after superlative.
Yeah, exactly. So, but with Nier, I was getting a lot of, here's why you would love it, and I decided to give it a shot. And you know what? I'll admit, I love that game. It wasn't for me at this time. So I sent it back without finishing it. I got pretty far into it. I played at least 15 hours, and that's because I'm slow, and it takes me a long time to move through games, and I run around and try to kill like wild boars a lot.
Did you ride a moose?
You could ride them. I killed a bunch.
If you go and buy bait, you can actually ride a moose.
I got a bunch of bait. I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, you can. Anyway, you just throw it down, and then they'll come over, eat it.
I had no idea how to even use the bait.
You know what? I'm glad that you told me this, because once I start playing Nier, I'm gonna ride a moose.
You damn right, you're gonna ride a moose.
But yeah, that's a game. My point in bringing it up is that's a game where it was absolutely 100% worth trying. I could see the quality, and I'm not putting it down, but it wasn't for me. Whether or not a game's worth trying is one thing. Whether or not I'm going to enjoy it is another, and it's hard to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really is.
No, I'd say, because it's personally subjective whether or not you're actually going to enjoy it. I mean, whether or not I enjoy playing a game is going to depend on things as nuanced as where I'm at in my life. How's my job going? Do I have a lot of patience for things to learn new things or not?
That's true. That's true.
I'm
frustrated at work because you're going to be frustrated at the game.
Exactly. So whether or not I enjoy it is just a completely separate issue from whether or not it sounds like something that I might enjoy, which is what happened with that game. I'm just not at a place where I could enjoy it, where I could really enjoy and play that game fully.
Corey, what have you been playing lately?
Mass Effect. I tried ARMS for Switch, and
how is that? I saw it got some really good reviews. I'm very skeptical.
Loves that game.
I'm very skeptical about motion controls. I hate motion controls.
What is this?
ARMS for the Switch.
Oh, fuck off! No, that game looks terrible. You just
mute him so we can have this conversation, Corey. Just mute him.
I'll do it myself.
ARMS is interesting.
Okay, it's all right.
It's cool. It's a cool concept that doesn't execute well. It's got. I like the characters. I like the character design. I think Nintendo's going for an Overwatch vibe. I'm getting distracted by Matt's ugly, just massacre.
Here, look at me. Look at me. It's okay.
So-
Look at me. Look at me.
I think Nintendo was really trying to go for an Overwatch vibe in terms of the way the characters behave, the way they're kind of, stat based. And I know all fighting games are that way, but like this feels different because it feels like they're putting backstories to these characters that, you're supposed to. I feel like you're supposed to know who these characters are before you go into this game.
Oh, that's not cool.
But Nintendo didn't release any, like, the way Blizzard has been releasing comics and short stories and stuff through their websites and other channels to tell the story of their characters. I feel like ARMS is in that situation, but Nintendo didn't give us the information on these characters, so you're stuck with, Ribbon, who is a pop singer that one day wakes up with these springy arms, but there's no explanation on like why, like the whole, like half the world just woke up with arms that could stretch real far, and that there's no explanation why, there's no nothing. So like story wise it's like real dumb. So whatever. But it's a fun game, especially if you're playing multiplayer. Probably not going to stick with it, especially after Splatoon and Mario and Rabbids and Mario Odyssey come out.
Splatoon's next month, isn't it? Is it July or August?
It's a decent holdover game. It probably should have been $40, not $60. There's not a lot of content right now, but they did promise 2 years full of free DLC, which you're kind of paying for up front. So,
do you feel that it deserves the 8s, 7s that it's been getting? Do you think it's that good, or do you think, because I've seen a lot of people say ARMS is surprisingly good? Do you think people just generally expect motion control games to be absolute shit? Because I do that.
Well, I haven't been playing it with motion controls. I've been playing with the Pro controller.
Oh, so you can. I didn't know you could play it with a Pro controller.
Yeah, I've been playing with the Pro controller.
That changes everything. Okay.
Yeah, I played it. Okay. I played it 2 rounds with the motion controls. I'm like, it works, but it works, but
yeah, exactly.
I hate motion controls. Anytime somebody puts motion controls in the gaming, they're wrong. Like that's my view. Motion controls are wrong. Stop. Video games are meant for us to be lazy and sit on the couch.
They're wrong.
And not do anything.
They're wrong, except Wii Sports.
Wii Sports was good.
I want Wii Sports HD. Is what I want on the Switch.
Wow.
So
no, fuck that. All right, Court. That's for Nintendo. Get out of here. Anyways, Mass Effect. How are you experiencing any issues normal people are experiencing with that? What are your thoughts on it? Did you play the first 3 and does it hold up? Like, how's it going?
I've noticed some of the facial animation weird stuff that, like, especially in the created character specifically.
Okay.
But it's not enough to like hinder my experience with Mass Effect. This is a big game. There's a lot of math going on behind the scenes to keep track of your decisions. There's a lot of, choices that have to be made, and like the character models themselves look good. Mm-hmm. Nobody complained when you're going on these side missions on Horizon and some of that like the mouth movements and voice.
Oh no, it was horrible. I'll agree. It's horrible.
The further you get away from the main quest, the worse it gets.
I would say at this point, with the patches I have installed for Mass Effect and everything, like at this point, the side quests in Horizon are worse than my created character trying to talk. But that said, I'm really enjoying Mass Effect. It's a solid action RPG. If you're into like a major sci-fi storytelling game, like the writing's pretty good. The story it's a Force Awakens situation where like they are kind of lifting a lot of the story elements and just replacing, race A with this new race. I have noticed some of that, but I mean, I like it. I'm in it. I'm in it to beat it and play it through it. I want to see where it goes, and I'm
I think
invested.
that's a completely fair assessment. The only assessment I don't think is fair, and I've seen it, is for the people calling that game trash.
Yeah.
People
Oh no,
that game
it's not
you
trash.
You are the worst person in the world.
It's not trash at all. Like it's not as good as the original trilogy, but that does not mean that
It's trash.
by any means it is trash.
But that is what it means to a lot of people, and those people piss me off.
I know, but
like,
those people can go fuck themselves. Like I don't care about.
I kind of fall in between there, where it's not hitting the expectation I have for Mass Effect, but I don't call it trash. But I'm going to sit there and, like I said earlier, I'll wait for the $20 holiday sale this fall because it's already been down to $39.99, I think, or $35.99. It'll be down to $25.99 or even $29.99 for either Black Friday or Christmas.
Yeah, Black Friday.
I'll pick it up then.
I think that's fine, but it is 100% true. I don't care what anybody says that internets, quote unquote. I don't like talking about the internet as a whole, but there is this tendency for people to say it's either the greatest game ever or it's the worst, and it's holy shit, calm down. There is a middle ground.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the internet is full of reactionary people?
Yes. Have you? If you haven't heard, I'm bringing that news here to you. That is what the Brew Review does. That is
first on NGR radio.
That's real weird because like every time I seem to like something, someone else always seems to go, "That's all right." I knew you'd get that joke, John.
Hey! I only play arcade games, so. Or you're done.
But yeah, it's been really annoying for me to see it with Mass Effect. I don't think the game deserves a lot of the vitriol it got, because you could say, hey, it's not as great as the last trilogy. You could say, hey, it's not as great as I was expecting. Those are both valid. Call it trash, and I don't want to hear your opinion on anything moving forward because you obviously don't know what trash is. You didn't live through the 80s like I did, early 90s like I did. I'll show you trash. All right? You don't know.
He's a fan of most of it.
I'm gonna be
such a dick.
Come on.
I'm gonna be completely honest. If I wasn't like following things all the time and like reading reviews and stuff all the time, and I bought this day one and not following reviews or anything, I wouldn't have noticed anything was wrong with this game. Like that's how much fun I'm having with it. I would have said maybe that it's not as good as the original trilogy, but that doesn't mean like
I think
it's a bad game.
But you got to take into account how good the original trilogy was.
I know, especially 1 and 2. Like 2.
Well, the original trilogy was such a step forward in gaming that like not many had really seen. I mean, the first one came out the same year as Fallout 3, right?
2007.
2007?
Yeah, January.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was January.
But see, now both of those two games brought at least to consoles, because I didn't play Fallout 1, 2, Tactics. Yeah, I mean, well, I just know that if Matt Phillips ever hears this, he's gonna be like, "Q, you what the fuck you talking about?" And I'll be like, "I don't know, eh?"
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right, but.
Captain Cannon doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyways,
depending on how much beer he's drank that day.
Right, that's correct. That's a good assessment. Yes,
but the way that Fallout 3 and Mass Effect handled, being good or being bad, that was such a different thing at that point. Now, games like New Vegas and any other grayer morality uses, Witcher 3.
Infamous.
Well, Infamous was totally black and white or blue.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, you had to go.
With New Vegas, and as far as I've understood The Witcher 3, because I've not played it, you don't always you find out that what you thought was the good way to go might not have been the good way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably somewhat similar to real life, where you're like, I'm going to make this decision and everybody I know will come out on top. where someone you don't know might get the shit end of life for a moment. And with that, if Mass Effect Andromeda is still doing the whole black and white thing, sure, it might not look right. I think what John and I discussed on our one-on-one episode was, most people leveled their dumb bullshit at the facial animations. And, my statement was, I remember when I thought I could draw, and drawing the human face is the fucking hardest thing in the goddamn world. So trying to project a 3D image of a randomly generated face that someone just decides to make is probably infinitely more difficult. So there's naturally going to be some bullshit that comes with that.
But
it's coming from a lot of people too.
Listen, but I think a lot of people's issue with it is they've actually showed videos, and I've watched videos where they go back and they say Mass Effect 1's facial animations are way better than Andromeda's. That's where people are getting the comparison. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying they're wrong and being pissy about it. But you want to sit there. I understand what you're saying.
Here's my thing. Is one, I disagree with that. But two, I'm not going to spend any time putting any kind of vehement disagreement into that, because I'm actually okay with that as a complaint.
It's a worthless argument.
Here's the thing that gamers are supposed to say, or what I've always heard in the gaming community from real gamers, what matters is what? Gameplay, right? Gameplay speaking. Mass Effect Andromeda has better gameplay than anything else in the series, period. That's an objective fact. I don't care what you have to say. Mass Effect Andromeda has the best gameplay of the entire series, and I saw nothing but a bunch of people tearing it apart because the facial animation. I don't care about the goddamn facial animations. That game felt great to play. The combat is
if the story's good, like Horizon, I don't care about the facial animations. And to be honest, here's my other thing. To be perfectly honest, I have a hearing problem because I listen to rock too much, and my own voice has made me deaf. Number two, but also my wife sleeps like 10 feet from where I play video games, so I have to keep the volume low. So I put on subtitles. So 9 times out of 10, I'm reading the subtitles and not even looking at the person's face. So I agree that facial animations I'm like, whatever. Does it play well? Like World of Warcraft is like crap compared to the graphics that are out there now, but that game still freaking rocks, man.
And that's what's supposed to matter. But I never heard complaining about the gameplay for Mass Effect, which is what really was disappointing to me. Like, you're complaining about facial animations? Man, if you don't shut up, who cares about facial animations? I used to play Atari, all right?
There were no faces on Atari.
It was a goddamn block, all right? They made a black dude. It was just a brown block, okay?
That's not black. That's brown.
Well,
damn, Atari was racist.
Let me enlighten you to the fact that most black people are not black, except for Wesley Snipes and Charlie Murphy and Eddie Murphy. Rest in peace, Charlie Murphy. Those are the only 3 actual black people on Earth. Okay?
Michael Jackson used to be black.
Anyways. So moving along. So you're enjoying Mass Effect, Corey. That's awesome.
That was long.
You're doing Persona, Matt. That's awesome. John, you're getting
Persona's
into Horizon. I can't wait to hear more from you about it when you get into the story mode and the twists, and plots going on later in the game. And I want to hear like your impression when you get to the end. But I have been playing a lot of Nex Machina, which is freaking awesome, from Housemarque. That's their newest game. That game is awesome. And then I've been trying like a fiend to freaking platinum Grand Theft Auto 3 PlayStation 2 on PS4. Wow. So that's just freaking banging my head against the wall.
it's that multi-point thing. Like, isn't there a thing where you have to get like 250 million points or something weird?
So you have to get 2,500 criminal record points, and then you have to get 5,000 points, so you have to do them consecutively, and it's hard like doing that in the game. The hard thing that I'm working on is you have to get to level 12 in the paramedics, so you basically have to say like drive back and forth and save lives. But the problem with the game is if you go through the story first like I did, you get shot at from everybody because everybody hates you and your character because of what you've done, so your ambulance like blows up out of nowhere. And so I should have did the paramedic thing like well before I even did any other missions.
But Moose, you platinum Bloodborne. You should be fine.
I am going to be fine. It's just like some of the stuff and then you have to do an import-export garage in 2 different locations, and some of the stuff doesn't spawn. So I'm trying to finish it up before July because I'd like to get 3 platinums for July. I already have 2. I'm trying to get the 3rd one to make up for not having platinums.
June?
Yeah, for June. I'm sorry. Thank you. Before July starts. So I didn't have a platinum for April. I didn't have a platinum for May. So I'm trying to make up for that by getting.
I don't understand people like you at all. I'm not even going to join in.
Anyways,
I'm just going to mention that I don't understand people like you, and I hate you, and I hope you
I love you too, John. I love you too. But anyways, right. So I just in playing Grand Theft Auto 3, I've just like I'm going down nostalgia lane with the game because I used to play the hell out of it on PS2, and playing it now, trying to complete the platinum, I'm realizing there's so much more to the game than I ever knew there was. So it's just pretty cool, and I look forward to playing Vice City soon. I think I'm going to do Vice City for next month.
That was a big game for me. Grand Theft Auto 3. When I grew up, in an area where there weren't a lot of fellow gamers. I had 1 or 2 other that I knew, and I had a bunch of older, the cool friends or whatever,
right.
who were kind of, they were wannabe tough guys and all this other shit. And they used to give me a lot of shit for playing games, right? Like
really?
I was a nerd. Yeah, because I was like playing like
you play Final Fantasy and stuff, right?
Well, no, like one example, I was at my friend's house and playing Mario Kart, for example. It's just they look at that, you fucking nerds, and make fun of you and all this other shit, right?
I think of you as kids because it's
Grand
Mario.
Theft Auto 3. I still have the memory of this real and I grew up in an inner city, but. So I had at that same friend's house this real wannabe thug, very very ghetto persona guy come in the house, and y'all are playing games again or whatever. And it was my friend's older brother's friend, and he saw what we were playing. We were playing Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
And he started asking questions or whatever after making fun of us, and we were like showing him like, oh no, we're carjacking people and we're kicking the shit out of hookers and robbing banks,
fucking hookers and taking their money.
Exactly.
And I remember him being like, because he's like this, he's a wannabe thug, and I mean, he really was, because he apparently, after I left home, ended up in jail for like 10 years or whatever. But I remember even him being blown away, like, oh shit, this game's done, blah 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 blah. So that was the game that I think. Am I wrong in saying? Kind of gave gaming more exposure.
I think, definitely.
It was one of them.
It was one of them because it was.
Before that, it was definitely. Before that, it was definitely a title like Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
But then, like, gaming got bad raps
Crash
because of Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter
violence. Yeah.
But I think Grand Theft Auto 3 was one of the first games that people were realizing, oh shit, no, it's not just child content.
Yes, and that's what you're getting at, John. And yes, that's true. Like, they looked at Grand Theft Auto 3 and they said, holy crap, this is a game an adult can play. Because I'll personally admit it, that's why I don't play a lot of Nintendo stuff, because it's still childish and kiddie to me, like, which is fine. And Matt's gonna hate me because he's gonna be like, don't you like fun? I like fun, but you know what? Bring Pokemon into like updated
Helldivers.
Bring it into a Helldivers type setting or some shit like that. But anyways, I agree with you. But one of the other funny things is like looking at the manual and looking in the game and seeing advertisements for Vice City, and you're like, holy shit. And Vice City came out like the next year, and then 2 years after that came San Andreas, and then it was 4 years before they gave us Grand Theft Auto 4.
But thank God. It got harder for them.
Yeah, right.
But they also...
No. It was hyper high res graphics is what it was of the 360. And the
well, but
And they
also
were still putting in the same
San Andreas folded
Yeah.
in on itself in terms of ridiculousness.
Oh yeah,
Like, there was so much bullshit in San Andreas that
I'm not
like,
looking forward to
I
platinum
think-
in that one.
I think they needed to wait in order for people to realize, okay, we need to sit back, let people figure out what Grand Theft Auto once was, and go there. And I think that's what 4 did. 4 is basically Grand Theft Auto 3 with a better story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very,
The
very
story
true.
in 3 is not. I mean, it's not the best on this planet, but it was good at the time. And so
Yeah.
4 was really good, and I enjoy 5, and I love how Grove Street in from San Andreas is inside Grand Theft Auto 5.
That was a cool little.
But that's a cool little nod that they have, and I mean, and they've got nods back to 4 with Patrick being able to be one of your heistmen or whatever. Spoilers if you haven't fucking played Grand Theft Auto 5 yet, but I mean, it's just I think it's cool, like they intertwine things, and it's a good series. But like playing it, I'm like, holy crap! Like it was weird getting used to the controls, and it's like, man, if you could have just went back and been like, you don't need the L2 and R2 buttons to swap your weapons. How about you just make the analog stick your move button, and then treat your D-pad as like you're swapping stuff? Like it's just really interesting, like going back and looking at what controls were at that time too. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, such an impressive series. Rockstar, man.
Dude, when they bring out, I bet you they'll drop Red Dead 2 got delayed till next year, but it'll probably drop in April or May, I bet.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I can't wait for that game. Man.
They usually Rockstar usually owns the April-May slot at some point.
Yeah, you're right. Because they did it, when did it come out? 2010?
I remember Red Dead 4 and Vice City all came out in May.
I believe, no, Vice City came out in October because I was in college at the time.
Maybe it was.
But 4 did come out in April. 4 came out in April because it came out like the week before I started a new job, and I played the hell of that in 2008. And then
How goddamn old are you?
How old do you think I am?
I don't know. I thought you were my age, and then you just said that Vice City came out when you were in college.
It did. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 38. I just turned 38.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. That makes sense. You're like 6 years older than me. Okay. I was still in fucking elementary school. What the fuck?
Yeah. I remember GameStop called me and said to me, they said, if you do not pick up your reservation before 8 o'clock today, your copy of Grand Theft Auto Vice City will be put on the shelf for someone to come in and buy.
Same shit happened to me.
First time I've ever experienced that in my life, because you know that shit was selling like hotcakes. Everybody played the hell out of Grand Theft Auto 3, and then when Vice City was coming out the next year, like everybody like pre-ordered it. Nobody had stock in it, you know, and I had to go. I had to go over there. I went after class and was able to pick it up, and I played the hell out of that game. That game's great. But anyways,
I remember it was like, when did Grand Theft Auto Vice City come out? 2004, 5?
2002. 3 was 2001. The fall of 2001, and Vice City came out like a year later in 2002.
Then it must have been San Andreas then.
San Andreas was 4.
Okay, San Andreas was when I was here, and I was trying to explain to my girlfriend at the time, who would eventually become my wife, and who we are now divorced now. But I was trying to explain, like, yeah, I got to go get this video game. She's like, it's a video game. Why do you have to go get it? I'm like,
trust me.
There's no way I can explain this to you.
I have to get this game now.
There's no like I was like, I'll be honest with you, like I love you to death, but there's no way you're ever gonna get on side with me. But then I eventually showed it to her, and she's like, why is this fun? I'm like, it's fun because I grew up in capitalism and you grew up in communism, which she did. That's not a joke. But yeah, she never really got on board with video games until Red Dead. She watched me play the entirety of Red Dead.
Awesome. Did she like it?
And She loved it. She's like, wow, this is fucking beautiful. I'm like, I know, right? I go, watch this. Watch this. You see these people in the distance there? That's a carriage ride now. I'm going to get ambushed. It's going to be great. She's like, cool. I want to watch you get killed. I'm like, I'm not going to get killed.
Well, I can't wait for part 2 of that game.
Where's the fun in that? I go, that's the fun. I'm not going to get killed. And of course, I got killed because I was cocky. But, hey, that happens.
Well, you're you too, so.
It's true.
Damn it, Moose.
But yeah, they were all October until Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and that's when they moved it to May time.
Well, good on them.
They make some money.
Here's a not so often referenced Grand Theft Auto style, L.A. Noire. You guys play that?
I have not played that, but I heard they're making a remake.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. That's what has it fresh in my mind. I love that game. I really enjoy it. Very different from all their other titles, and not in a good way.
Well, it's different because it's not developed by Rockstar; it's just published by them. It was a completely different development company, which is fine. But I've heard it's really great, and I just never
really loved it. I love that game. I'm hoping for a sequel to that game. It introduced some mechanics with the facial animation. Talking about keeping it on facial animation like we were earlier, that were really interesting because you would have to guess because you're playing a detective at what the person that you're interrogating or interviewing is really feeling, kind of what the truth is based on the facial animations. They had real well-known actors playing a lot of the characters that you had to do that with. It was a really, really good game in my opinion. I'm looking forward to playing more of that as well. So.
I feel like that game was more of a showpiece of the technology that company was building than a game. I thought that game, from what I played, was an interesting idea, and I thought it was a cool idea that you were playing in a detective instead of this havoc wreaker in some kind of Grand Theft Auto world. But I thought it was an interesting showcase on how far that technology had come in terms of facial animations and stuff, because it was really impressive in that game for the time. There was a lot to be left desired in it, but again, just going back to the point I made about Mass Effect Andromeda earlier, I don't think that it was that it didn't deserve more to be done with it. I feel like it was a great experience that could have been improved upon and deserved to be improved upon, and then we never got anything else like it, in all honesty, since then.
Well, I think
besides maybe Telltale is the closest since then that is kind of similar in how it works, because you're kind of
interacting instead of action.
You're interacting and you're hearing the characters in the game and then making decisions or evaluations based on that. But yeah, I'd like to see it more done L.A. Noire style, because I'm not a huge fan of Telltale. As much as I enjoy a lot of their games, I'm not a huge fan of
I can't do
how
it
little
anymore.
agency
I fucking can't do it anymore. They need to fix their goddamn engine.
Yeah, for one.
Update their stuff, and then maybe. But I can't do it.
Even Batman, wasn't Batman updated? I think Batman.
They haven't done anything to their engine.
No. The engine was updated for Batman.
No, I don't think so.
They haven't.
It definitely didn't look like it.
Patrick Klepek from Waypoint wrote a nice expose on Telltale saying that they've not updated their engine since, I think, the Jurassic Park game. Do any of us remember the Jurassic Park game? No, didn't think so, because no one fucking played it. Because it was broke as hell. Same with that Back to the Future game, though I like it, but that's more my issues with Back to the Future. But
Y'all are wrong. IGN reported March 2016 that they updated the engine for Batman. And it's still broken. I'm still saying, I'm not saying it's not fixed. I'm just saying.
But then with Guardians of the Galaxy, there was more broke shit in that one than any of the previous Telltale games combined.
Remember when Tales from the Borderlands launched on PlayStation with Xbox prompts?
Yeah. That shit's fucking crazy.
And they really have no...
And that's still the fucking best as far as I'm concerned.
Like, take Mass Effect Andromeda that I was talking about earlier and take all the issues that you may have with it, with facial animations and all that, and you can excuse them because of how much shit is in that game. There are like 6 or 7 entire worlds that you can travel on and drive for like an hour or 2 straight. There's a lot of shit in that game. There's a ton of stories, a ton of side quests. Telltale, no excuse, dude. No excuse.
Well, it's getting to the point where it's fucking up all that. It's fucking up all those bullshit QuickTime events that they have.
Well, it's also, you get a lot of people that are like me who are like, I'll just wait for a sale. I'll wait for them to put the whole series out. They're not getting all my money. You're not getting all my money.
Game of Thrones at $5 for the entire season.
See, I bought the volume 1. So, yeah, I bought the volume 1
when it came out.
I know, I bought the volume 1 when it was like 75% off, and it had Walking Dead season 1 and 2.
Oh,
Among Us. It had it's got Tales from the Borderland and Game of Thrones. It had 5 games in it, and it was all like $40. But I'm like, I'm not giving you, like, anytime I see a Telltale game coming out, it's like, did they fix their engine? I know a lot of people think that. Did they fix their engine? Did they fix their engine? And it's just, the facial animation issues in that, and like, I think they've made some improvements over the reaction time and the gameplay. Like, Walking Dead was horrible. It was straight up trash. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's the greatest story on earth. Well, if I'm not enjoying the gameplay, no, it's not the greatest story on earth for that year. I'm saying for that year.
Deal with the gameplay, and I've enjoyed those. And you deal with the gameplay because the story is good, but it doesn't excuse that goddamn gameplay.
Right.
There's a reason that Journey got Game of the Year that year.
Right.
That's a great contrast. No story.
I thought Walking Dead wanted the VGAs, but sure.
No,
anyways,
Journey did.
That would make sense.
Maybe it got greatest story. Whatever. Anyways, so like going to Wolf Among Us, and then I played Game of Thrones and Tales from the Borderlands. Like their QuickTime sequences have gotten better, and the responsiveness has gotten better, but it's still janky, and they need to fix some stuff. So,
and they're so unnecessary. I enjoyed Game of Thrones a lot, but only because I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, and I felt like it was a great Game of Thrones story. It was nice to be able to interact in the world of Game of Thrones, but at the same time, I could be like, dude, just so much of this is just why am I even doing this quick time event right now? Right. Why am I doing this scene as opposed to the last scene? It makes no sense. And I'm just like, there's so many times playing that game where I'm just like sitting back enjoying the story, and then a quick tab event will come up, and I'm like, oh fuck, god damn it, why do I even have to pick up the controller right now? I don't even want to pick up the controller right now. Just let me do the dialogue.
Just let me watch it. So now that it's going to be a PlayStation Plus game, they covered it on Kind of Funny Show, and Andrea Ray, and I want to ask your opinion, John, because you're a Game of Thrones fan. Mm-hmm. Do you feel they could have did a better job with the presentation as far as the animation goes? Because she was saying that she was kind of put off with the animation, and it wasn't up to quote unquote Game of Thrones standards. I kind of agree with that. I do like the cel shaded style. I mean, especially if it fits with Tales from the Borderlands, because that's the way Borderlands and Borderlands 2 was. But I feel they could have done a better job with the animation and brought it up to the next level, you know? But I do agree with you. It was a good side story for Game of Thrones.
I would agree with that. I would also say that I was so happy to be in the Game of Thrones world, hear iconic characters from the actual series that I guess I'm just not an animation person. That was in no way, shape, or form the thing that stood out to me about that game. What stood out to me about that game were, you guys were talking about earlier, the QuickTime events and all right, press X, now press box. Now, you know what, Telltale, just let's stop with all that.
The garbage of it is what stood out, right?
The garbage.
Let me pick dialogue and stop with all this. All right, now grab the sword. Stop it. Just stop it. Let me pick the dialogue and watch the story and interact in the story that way.
Let me hear that Tyrion will remember that, and I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, I don't need to sit here and mash triangle right now for no goddamn reason. No, that's the part that annoys me.
Yeah.
So facial animation.
I agree.
Could it have been better? The answer is yes. Is that the thing that I would complain about most in that game? Not even close.
My problem with their game mechanics also is like they switch it up so much. Yeah. And so what they do is they'll come in and they'll be like, they'll show you that, okay, so you just mash on circle to fill the circle, and then you hit X and you'll execute a dodge or something like that. Okay. So they'll do that on some minuscule bullshit fucking decision that you have to do. But then when you go to the next part of the story where a character might fucking die, they change it up and they're like, no, you have to hold down circle. Then you have
for no reason.
For no reason.
Just to fuck with you.
That person dies and it's like, well, now I have to restart.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? So
what the fuck are you doing, sir? You killed that character. Why?
It's just they're throwing shit
I couldn't
at
hit the
you.
button fast enough.
They're just throwing shit at you randomly for no reason, and it's just like, hey, it's a test of are you holding the controller in front of you and not actually listening to anything, but just waiting for the next QTE prompt.
Right.
That's what that game is. Wait for next QTE prompt is what we're going to rename it.
Right, and
you know what other games are like that? Every David Cage game ever.
I haven't played many.
Don't.
I will say after I beat Game of Thrones, and I highly recommend anyone that's listening play it if you got a PlayStation.
But if it costs $5, yeah.
No, it's free. It's free next month.
Oh yeah, it's free
next month. So download it.
Here
play
comes
it.
a platinum trophy.
Exactly. You don't even have to buy it. But anyways, so what I have to say about the game is I actually went through all my choices and then went out there on a thread and looked at like the best results for like the game and how to get the best results for the games, and I didn't get like any of it. So like you're the choices that you're making through the game, they do a good job of providing a maximum amount of variety in the game and how you actually affect the story of the game. It's going to be interesting to see how they do season 2.
They do, but they kind of fuck you over in a way. That was the biggest game with them in Game of Thrones that I saw, because here's one of the problems that I have with them is they'll present your options for dialogue, and written in text for a certain option, it sounds like a badass answer. Like, no, this is me being defiant and badass. And then your character says it,
Pussy's
and
out.
it's completely different than the phrase that is used in the selection, and it's the bitchiest answer that you could possibly give. It's the coward's answer. That part kind of annoys me, because it's like, oh, here's the badass answer, I'll pick that, or here's the diplomatic answer, I'll pick that, and then your character or that's what you think anyway, and then your character says it, and it's like, oh, that was the coward's answer. What the I almost kind of wish that they would just go to, when it comes to the button prompts, a heroic, diplomatic, aggressive, or something like that, because they actually list out an entire sentence.
And then they don't even use it.
And then that's not what the character actually says.
Yeah, I
that's
agree with you,
annoying
John.
as hell.
I agree with you,
That's
John.
the best. I love that.
That's the worst.
I mean, logically, yes.
Fuck you.
Logically, that's the worst. But like, it's one thing. It was like, yeah, I want to say the most compassionate thing, and then the person who actually says, like, yeah, we want to be compassionate, but really, fuck your entire crew over there. It's so dumb.
There's a lot of problems with Telltale games. Is basically all I was getting at, and I feel like they're doing a lot of cash grabbing right now because they get these properties. They get these great properties, and in all honesty, as much as I'm complaining, I did enjoy being a part of Game of Thrones world. Here's what I'll tell you though. I would love to have another developer's take on it. I would take a list of at least 20 other developers over Telltale if I could.
Wasn't there a Game of Thrones RPG that was really bad at some point?
Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Probably not from one of the developers
garbage.
that I would have mentioned. But
honestly,
who did Until Dawn? I would like to see them do a Game of Thrones.
Well, like the whole thing with Telltale is, I think Telltale's number will finally be up when someone says, "Hey, this is a Telltale game. We're going to release it all at once. It's going to be $60." Like the people who did Book of Unwritten Tales or the people who did Until Dawn, they're just going to say, "Look, here's a fucking full adventure game that's actually good."
Well, and also what Telltale has going for them is they're bringing in. Sorry, go ahead.
It has to be from a property, you know. It can't just be.
That was going to be my point.
It can't just be, you know, I'm going to create an original story because, let's be honest, in this age of we want nothing original, why would we want something original? Like when Disney starts to hand out their adventure game rights to someone other than Telltale, Telltale's going to get better.
Well, yeah, that's the point is, and I completely agree with you, is Telltale is getting by on the fact that they are getting all these licensed properties. Why? Because they can release it quickly. They can release it in coinciding with actual content from the original property, right? Mm-hmm. If any of their games came out as original stories, let's say that they released Game of Thrones, but it was a completely original story and it didn't have Game of Thrones attached, nobody would have bought it and it would have bombed. It would have absolutely bombed because deep down, mechanic-wise, it's a bad game. But it is the only way to experience an interactive Game of Thrones story. Same thing goes with their Walking Dead series. Same thing goes with their Borderlands series. Same thing goes with the whatever the fantasy thing is, Wolf Among Us. They do a good job of acquiring these licenses. And it's the same way that it works with all these other studios, right? Licensed games have always been trash because I don't know what it is about licensed games, but it attracts developers that don't have the greatest technical skill.
How dare you, sir?
What?
DuckTales, not trash.
Dude, that was like 30 goddamn years ago. The one,
but it's not trash, John. It's not trash.
It's on sale right now.
Not trash. Lion King, not trash. Rescue Rangers 1 and 2, not trash. DuckTales 2, not trash. Darkwing Duck, not trash.
Dude, you're bringing up, for one, a bunch of properties from 20 years ago.
And that's Capcom. Capcom does it well.
Two, obviously, there are going to be exceptions to that.
Slow down, Moose.
But the fact that you couldn't bring up an example, the fact that you didn't bring up an example that happened in the last 20 years, it proves my point.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Okay, so I'm going to sit here and think. I'm pretty sure there's another licensed game that's not garbage.
You can
Knights of the Old Republic, motherfucker! We're back to that!
Based on licenses, though, we can look at, like, you can look at the Batman Arkham series, you can look at the Transformers Cybertron series. Those games are very good.
Well,
here's my point.
John's talking
like the Cybertron.
John's talking.
Yes,
there's a lot more shit than there is.
You guys.
No one's arguing that point here.
Let me
to say that all of them are bad. Shit's.
I'm not trying to say all of them are bad. I'm saying in general that is the case.
I can agree with that.
And if you're going to argue that it's not in general the case by throwing all these examples of me, I'm not even going to give you the respect of listing off any of the bad examples because
they're all bad.
There are so many bad examples, and you have to be an idiot to not think that there aren't.
Get pumped, John.
A goddamn 100 examples to every Dark Knight or Darkwing Duck game, to every
Dark Knight. What?
To every DuckTales, to every Arkham. How many goddamn bad versions of a licensed property are there?
There's like 5 or 6 bad games to like every good licensed game.
Every single one.
True.
And that's why, and you look at that, that's why, and Marvel's talked about it, that's why Marvel is taking the licenses from fucking Activision, because Activision just does damn trash with Spider-Man. And so now they're like,
they get a dumb money man in the bathroom who goes, wipes the game.
What they're doing is they're trying to turn their games into their cinematic universe. They're trying to bring them up in quality. And I think they're off to a great fucking start with Spider-Man. I mean,
Looks like
granted they just released Marvel Heroes Omega, but that's a console version of a game that's already been out on PC. I think Spider-Man will be the first game that they drop after that new initiative of actually doing games like the cinematic universe.
That's
But
true.
anyways,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
so,
Yeah.
But
So
still,
my point was a good
I will
point.
not have you
are being
sully
an
the
asshole.
good names of the Capcom platformers
Just
of the 90s, my friend.
just calm down. Buy that
No!
cartoon Saturday Cartoon Classic, and then also isn't
What the fuck does that even mean?
Eidos Montreal or Crystal Dynamics? Don't they have Avengers? Aren't they doing an Avengers game?
Yes.
Oh God, I hope
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
Oh my
they-
God.
Montreal,
Yeah.
Eidos
Yeah.
Montreal and Crystal Dynamics both have.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God, I
think-
didn't know that.
I
We're
think
gonna
Crystal
get a Rise
Dynamics.
of the Avengers. That's what we're gonna get.
Crystal Dynamics is doing the Avengers game, and then Eidos Montreal supposedly putting this in, is what I heard.
Yeah, because now isn't Tomb Raider and Deus Ex kind of like
Well,
dormant?
Tomb Raider, Crystal Dynamics has two teams. So one team's working on Tomb Raider, and the other team's working on Avengers.
Whatever they're doing.
Because
Okay. Cool.
the rumor right now is that Shadow of the Tomb Raider is going to be shown off at Gamescom for an early February release.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
So
It's going to
Yeah.
be exclusive to Xbox, and then that's when they'll completely kill the series.
nope, it's no the.
That's my joke, man. That's
No, but the interesting thing is though with that,
Take a bow, Moose. Take a bow.
the interesting thing is though is that not only does it have a PC, PS4, and Xbox One logo, but it also has a Switch logo on it.
I'm
It's
sorry, but
interesting.
that game is going to have to be downgraded to be played on the Switch. I'm
You're gonna
sorry.
get
Oh no,
a
it's going to be
pixelated
running.
version
It's
of
going to be
that
running
game,
on.
dude.
It's going to be
It's
running
gonna
on the
be like
360
fucking
engine.
Shovel Knight.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
you know
be-
that, and that's a good point. And I like your headspace about that, Corey. They could run it on the Tomb Raider reboot engine from 360 or the PlayStation 3. That's a good point. That engine looked good. That game looked damn
Yeah, I mean,
good.
my cousin played Rise of the Tomb Raider on 360 before he got an Xbox One, and I went and saw it, and I'm like, I mean, this game doesn't look half bad running on 360. I mean, that game was pretty when the reboot was pretty when it came out on 360. So,
I'll agree with that. I'll give you that.
I'm gonna get it on Xbox because I want to play like the quote unquote real version of it. But I mean, I might double dip on Switch
because it'll actually run it. 1080p, possibly over 30 frames per second.
maybe.
Anyways, so Matt, what are we doing now? We're doing 20 questions.
We've been going for like.
We've been going for a long time, so
We've been going for an hour and a half.
topics
I
are
feel
off the table.
I feel like 20 questions is in our future next. Does anybody have a problem with that?
No, but I do have something to say.
Yes. I'm getting to that, Corey.
Okay. Well, season
Give me
one,
what I need, Dierig.
season 1 of 20 questions is now over. I owe Matt a $20 PSN gift card. So Matt,
Wow. Oh wow.
so now we are starting season 2 of 20 questions.
Holy
and
shit! Season 1 took forever.
Yeah,
I know.
man.
Well,
the
and
reason-
he's actually cutting it super short because Moose has become our third co-host.
Yeah.
And
So, and I want to
it was over a long time ago.
Yeah, so basically the seasons are going to run 6 months. So basically whoever, July, well, now through the end of the year. So starting June 1st, we'll start season 3, and then July 1st, we'll start season 4. And so, through the end of the
hang on.
He's on drugs, Matt.
You
No,
need to look at your calendar.
No,
it's
listen.
literally June 29th right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I said now through the end of the year is season 2, and then January.
Okay.
Yeah, but you did say July was going to start.
You
Well,
said
never mind.
June 1st we're going to start season 3, and then July 1st season 4.
Never mind.
Yeah, July
Go
next
home,
year.
Dierig. You're
Listen, listen, no. He said it.
The math works.
Where it made sense, where it worked. The math worked. It was just all out of order. He Quentin Tarantino'd us.
Matt's doing what he did to me when it came to the whole license trash thing.
What?
What are you talking about?
He has officially offended me and
How?
you
How
will.
how do I offend you, John?
I will now have to. You will what? That is messed. Oh, okay.
How did I offend you?
Never. Let's just move on because when.
Well, no. Hang on. No, John. I've known you as long as I've known Moose. I need to know why I offended you.
Because you didn't actually offend me. I just used that word. Shut up. Can we move on?
Shut up! You're the one who said it.
Yes, I know. I used the wrong word. I'm sorry. I do that.
John. Can we just bro hug?
No, I don't want to hug you.
Okay, you did it before in real life when you came to Jersey.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
There we go. I feel better now. Okay, good.
I didn't mean any of it.
So also,
I apologize for Corey and Moose getting both of my armpits. That must suck for you.
now it does. Face.
I mean,
I was trying to say
I have to look in the mirror every morning. Trust me, I know that fight.
I don't think you look in the mirror anymore. You're just kind of like, whatever.
He does. He's got that purposefully frayed Abercrombie and Fitch hat. He's very, very concerned.
He's very suburbanite. Anyway,
I fucking love you, John. I really do. Come back to Jersey so we can hang out.
Oh, I wish one day soon.
Oh, Matt, I'm coming to Philly.
I know you're coming. Moose is coming in 2 weeks.
I'll be there in 2 weeks. Next week. I'll be there next week.
I'm gonna be riding a Moose in 2 weeks. Wait, that's weird.
No, it's not. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I don't even know what to say right now.
20 questions.
20 questions. We are starting from scratch. It's 0-0-0. Corey, me, Moose.
Yeah. So since Moose hasn't really had a game like 4 points, Moose, do you want to be the inaugural?
No, motherfucker! You are not taking my victory from me. I'm going first.
Okay,
listen. Let the little crybaby bitch go first because I haven't
fucking aggressive
to stump him. Okay,
I've been podcasting with you too much, John. That's why I'm aggressive.
I will pick one for next time if that sounds good.
Yeah, it's gonna be another Battle of Olympus shit show, and we're all gonna fail, and it'll be a good time.
It'll be around there, and it'll be epic, and I'll stump you guys.
True.
Anyway,
I think I got a good one.
Okay. All right.
So, the way, since there's 3 people getting scores now, the way it's going to work is if Matt stumps us, he gets a point. But if we beat Matt, we each get a point.
I like those odds.
I don't get shit, right?
You
just help us. You just help us beat him.
Regardless of whether or not you win, John, I love you.
Well, you get the pleasure of really just...
No. See, he's just trying to fucking butter you up. He offended you. He offended you.
Now I just want to beat him.
Be his friend, so you want to help us beat him. That's what it is.
Mr. License are the greatest games ever. I'm gonna beat your ass. I
didn't say that shit, motherfucker.
John's just saying shit. Start fights. I love it.
All right, we're gonna beat his ass. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Okay. Did this game come out after January 1st, 2000?
Yes, it did.
Great.
Glad you're happy.
Sure. I'm just really going to try not to F it up.
Who's next? How do we know who's next?
Moose is next.
Do you play a human in this game?
Yes. Whoops, that was too many twos.
Nah, it's all right, man. We know. It's, all right. It's definitely not 22 because it's 20 questions. Anyways.
I've not had any beer, I swear.
Is this game a console exclusive?
No. Actually, hang on.
You just tell me
exclusive to consoles.
Just tell me the name and I'll look it up for you.
It is a console. Okay, if it only comes to one console, is that exclusive? Is that a console exclusive?
Yes.
Then yes, it is. I apologize.
So you just helped us out saying it only came to one console, so that works.
Correct.
Yes, that's console exclusive, which means it was never on PC.
I want to make sure because the interpretation of that bullshit can be
no.
That's actually not how I meant it.
Well, how did you mean it?
Is it only available on consoles?
No, it's not now.
Okay, so it's not only available on consoles,
but it was exclusive to one
console. On one console.
Thank you for the free answer. All
You're
right,
welcome.
cool.
Shit, Brick.
So now it means it's either on PC or it's mobile,
and also on one console.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was initially on one console, but now it's on like PC and mobile, possibly PC and mobile.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker likes his indies.
And he's been
like a goddamn alcoholic loves his brandy. So
he's been talking about KOTOR a lot.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that
game is on my iPad.
But see, that was exclusive to Xbox, wasn't it?
Exactly.
No,
my
it's on the
thinking.
PC too.
Well, no, it's console exclusive to
console
Xbox.
Exclusive. Okay.
But then. Yeah, did it come to PC after it came to Xbox, or was it at the same time? Because if it's the same time, it eliminates that. If it's the same time, it eliminates it because it was only console exclusive. Well, never mind.
No, he was only talking about one console.
PC doesn't really count as a console to me, I guess.
But he also said, if you were listening, he said at one time it was exclusive to this one console.
No, I didn't.
That's true. It later came out on other platforms.
No, it didn't. KOTOR did not come out on other platforms.
No.
It did eventually. It came out on I got it on my phone. You just said that.
I feel the need to clarify. The first question was, did it come out after 2000? Yes, it did. The second question was, did you play as a human? Yes, you do. The third question was it a console exclusive? I said no. And the reason I said no is because I thought that meant it only came out on consoles.
Yeah, that was how I meant that question.
And then I gave you the free answer that it did not only come out on consoles. It came out on one. That's what you know right now.
So it would probably be PC. Because usually it's PC before mobile. Especially console games.
Because I did not clarify where it came out first.
And you said yes to playing a human?
Yeah. Did this?
Yours, Corey.
It's a hero shooter? Is that what you said?
No, I said it's yours, Corey.
I thought you said it's a hero shooter.
No.
Okay. Did this? We want to narrow down generation. Did this come out initially in the HD era?
Yes.
Okay. So
that knocks out KOTOR, right?
Yes. Shoot.
Originally, KOTOR wasn't in the HD era.
No.
Xbox was not.
I was aiming towards the original Mass Effect because that was originally a console exclusive.
You already used that one, Corey. I can't do that.
Season 2. Okay.
Anything's on the table for season 2.
Oh, great! Bruce's first one is Battle of Olympus. Win.
Okay, so HD era game, plays a human, one platform.
Well, hang on.
One console platform.
That's what I meant. One branded platform console thing.
So it's my guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's yours turn.
Is it a side scroller?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's good. We got that going.
You play as a human, that narrows it down a lot. In the HD era,
yes, because I'm such a fan of the Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic's not a human. He could be. I don't know.
Sonic sucks.
He makes out with humans. Sonic.
The only person who sucks more than Sonic is Kirby, both literally and figuratively.
I'm not a Kirby fan. I don't play that childish shit.
Kirby's fucking awful.
Okay, initially. I feel like I know the game.
What do you think it is?
I think it's Limbo.
But that came out on multiple platforms, though.
That came out.
Not when it
every
came out.
console of it.
Not when it initially came out. It moved to
It was an
other.
Xbox exclusive when it came out.
Yeah, and then it moved to PlayStation 3, mobile.
Years later.
PC. It was like 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah.
Are you drinking Bell's Moose?
Two-Hearted Ale he was earlier.
You're goddamn right I am.
Yeah.
$1.99, motherfuckers.
That is the supposed best beer in the U.S. right now.
I know. I was gonna say something earlier, but didn't wanna...
It overtook Pliny the Elder.
I don't even know what the fuck that is, and if I don't know
Me
what that is,
either.
then it's not number one. So they can eat a dick, whoever's a fan of that. But anyways,
I like Russian River as a brewing company because I've had Damnation and Salvation. Pretty good. I wanted to try Pliny the Elder, but I was only able to try those two.
you need to come to North Carolina so we can try some IPAs down here.
Oh, fuck. We will get so drunk in North Carolina.
Did this game allow for multiplayer?
No.
So
You know that means co-op too, right? In there?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
So it's all
And my
single
answer
player.
is still no.
So single
It's
player,
human, side
Human.
scroller.
HD. Can you? Mm. Let's see. I was gonna go art style, but most indie side scrollers are. I would ask if it's an indie game, but I don't want to waste that question yet.
And that's also just one of those definitions that will cause such a confusion.
No.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. Not for me, it wouldn't.
It would for me. I don't know what the fuck qualifies as an indie.
We don't need to get into it now, but I know there's a good definition out
Is
there.
is your primary combat? Do you shoot things? Erase primary combat. I just want to know if you can shoot things.
Yes, you can.
Have you guys?
Yes. Okay. You can shoot things.
Uh,
I mean, that kind of eliminates a few things. I mean, that.
Well,
eliminates
I don't know.
one.
There's a few games that I've played that could still be in the category, but I didn't finish, and I'm not sure if you eventually shoot something.
Yeah. What about?
I've got a game on the table, and I'd like to ask.
I'm going to throw this out there. You did not say with a gun.
It doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
Do you? What do y'all want me to ask next? Do we want to do?
Well, you were
On my
saying you were
mind.
thinking something.
Well,
on my mind right now.
You just erase that because I've got an indie on the PlayStation 3 in mind.
What about Housemarque games? Some of them are side scrollers.
None of them are.
Are they?
No. They're all usually all top down, so they're not.
Yeah, I thought they were all
side-scrollers.
twin stick.
The only
shooters.
side scroller.
Someone has never played Outland then.
I haven't.
Yeah, but listen. Yeah, the vast
Resident Gun
majority
is
of
not
them.
top down.
Listen, fuckhead. It's a freaking Defender cylinder shooter. Okay, it's not
But
a
it's
side.
not top down.
It's not a side
It's a side-
scroller. All right.
You are
The
looking
only-
at the character from the side.
But it has to scroll.
It has.
It does.
Side-scroll.
It's not a
It
side
really
scroller.
does.
It's not a side scroller. It's not a side scroller because
This
if
is
you
the side
loop
scroller.
around, you get back to the same area you started. It's not a side scroller where it's all new shit from beginning to end. Anyways, Outlander is the only side scroller that they did. You do play a human. Maybe you shoot something later, but it's not a Housemarque game. He wishes it
Why?
was a Housemarque game.
It is a Housemarque game. Outland is a Housemarque game.
No, the game you have in mind is not a Housemarque game.
Oh yeah, that's totally true.
There's a free question. Thank you. Anyways,
Good luck with it though.
now that I'm back on point, I have a PlayStation 3 game in mind.
HD, huh?
It was in the HDR. You do have a gun, but like he said, he's throwing us. He threw me off with the. You did not ask if you shoot with a gun. We just asked if you shoot something. So that's what's making me not think that it's that game. So it's like we need to. It's like we need to maybe narrow it down a little more before I'm ready to throw this game out there. Because in all honesty, this game's not even on PS3 anymore. They pulled it. So.
What about something like Shadow Complex that was exclusive originally?
That was on, now it's on one PS4.
And like the original version of that game was exclusive to Xbox, and then they made the remastered versions for one PS4 and PC.
That's true.
Technically, that original game is still exclusive to Xbox 360.
You guys are getting into territory I can't fuck with now.
You can, John. You just need to.
I'll help you narrow shit down, but I'm not gonna have a game.
Stop drinking beer and being a family man. Play some damn games, John.
I love it. That's fucking amazing.
Oh, called the fuck out. I love it.
It's fucking amazing. Well, the game he's probably got in mind is an arcade game, so John didn't play that. So.
I love arcade games. Okay. I was
What
just
is
giving
an
you.
arcade, John?
I know you were going to say it.
Helldivers is a terrible game.
You're not
Dude,
going to
Helldivers
show evermore.
Do we want to narrow it down to like license? Is it a licensed game?
What
Is
if
it
Studio. We can narrow down studio.
What if we narrow it down to console?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
That's probably a good call.
And it's probably either a PlayStation game or a Nintendo game. If it's not
It's not well, it could be a 360 game because he did owe a 360.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. Yeah, let's narrow it down to platform.
But he is a trophy whoring son of a bitch. So I am going to say more than likely it's going to be a PlayStation game.
It's still on you to narrow down, right?
It is Moose's question.
So do you guys want me to ask, is it on PS3 or PS4? Because we only know it was released after, 2001? January 1st, 2001? So it's in the
2005,
HD.
I thought he said.
Or whatever the HD
It's got to
era.
be HD was 2005.
So whatever the HD era was, we don't know the generations. We didn't go generations. We just went after this time. You know what I'm saying? So
narrow
that's
it down even more to the brand, maybe?
we could do brand. We could say
Yeah, we could do that.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Is this game on did it come out on a Sony console?
Yes.
Okay. So then we know the brand. It's after 2005. So it's got to be the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4. It might even be Vita. Let's not discount Vita, guys. We can't discount Vita because that motherfucker loves his indies.
Indies. I'm trying to think of how I can narrow down Rogue Legacy as an answer.
90% of the games that came out on Vita, though, came out on PS3 or PS4 at the same time.
You are right. I
would that count? That doesn't really count as a console exclusive, then, would it? It would just be like a platform exclusive. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if Vita counts as a console.
No,
it's a handheld.
No, it's counted as a console.
All right. Well,
it's true. That's like a hey. Do you consider Vita as a console? Because there is
this from the person who swears a Nintendo Switch is not a console.
Okay, so here's the game I'm thinking, and maybe we should start narrowing down game style. Here's the game that I'm thinking now, based on all the information, is Rogue Legacy. So I'm thinking about asking whether or not this is a roguelike. Is that a good question?
Yes.
That's a good question. Go ahead.
Is this game a roguelike?
No.
All right, so that knocks out Rogue Legacy for me.
Okay, so a lot of indies kind of go the Metroidvania route if they're shooting stuff.
So it's on a PlayStation console.
Let's see.
And then it appeared somewhere else.
Do we want to narrow down art style? Do we want to narrow down?
If you've got a good question for it, that's a good one, but I can't think of a good question.
I feel like genre would be the one to narrow down.
It's platformer. So do we
Yeah.
want to go action platformer? Do we want to go? I mean,
Maybe ask if. What are some of the games that are possible based on the questions that we have?
well, Shadow Complex is possible. Well, no,
It's still possible?
No, never mind. No, my bad.
Do I want to?
Is Bastion still possible? No, that was Xbox.
That was Xbox first.
Yeah.
Came to PlayStation first, and then went elsewhere.
That should narrow it down a lot because most of the indies in that era started on Xbox.
No, wait a second.
He could still be talking PS4.
Wait a second. Right there, Matt. He's got us thinking it's indies. It might not even be an indie.
All right, I'm gonna.
Are there many non-indies?
I'm gonna cross this line. Is this an indie game?
Yes.
All right. See? Okay. Now,
I love how Moose feels better about himself already.
I'm trying over here, you fuckhead.
Do we want to narrow it down to PS3 or PS4?
Let's do that. That's fine. I say you ask if it's on PS.
It's your
It's your turn, Moose.
Is it on PlayStation 3?
No.
So
Okay.
it's PS4.
Which means it's PS4 Vita, probably, if it's an indie game.
Yeah, that's good. Good call.
Okay, so side-scrolling, PS4,
and it's only
platformer where you shoot things.
I haven't played a lot. Well, did he say platformer? I don't think we clarified that it's a platformer.
He said side-scroller.
He said
side-scroller, but
he
that could
didn't
be
say
like
platformer.
a flying. You could be like a, some kind of.
Yeah, but
you play a human. You could play a human in a ship.
Yeah, you can be the human in the ship, right?
We should probably narrow down platform now, or genre. I mean,
what's John's question?
Yeah, figure out if we can jump in this game. If we can.
I'm trying to think of games like Binding of Isaac. Was that PlayStation?
Not side-scrolling though.
It's not side-scrolling.
That's
Is that not?
And they launched.
I haven't played a lot of these games.
And they launched.
Was that one where you dig a lot? What's that game?
What's that
game where you dig a
Spelunky.
lot?
It's not Spelunky because it was on.
Dig Dug? Is it Dig Dug?
It was on 360.
SteamWorld Dig, but you don't play as a human.
I'm honestly having a hard time coming up with games that it could possibly be then, and that's gonna make
it's because you're a family man, and
Give me some
you're too
suggestions.
busy for the indies.
Give me some ideas on where I should go with my question. Narrow down genre. That was your first idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Platforming seems to be the safe route here, because that if it is, it eliminates a lot, and if it isn't, it eliminates a lot.
Here we go.
So wait, my question is this game a platformer?
If you wanted to be.
Yeah, if you want to.
Fuck it.
I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just like, let's go with it. Go with it, John. Go with it.
Pick your poison, Black Mage.
Okay,
Fuck you up when I see you next week, asshole.
Is this game a traditional style 2D platformer?
Elaborate on your question.
Do you have to? Is the primary mechanic of the game that you have to jump on a bunch of different shit?
That elaborated real well.
No, it didn't.
I don't know. I can come up with a better question.
Come up with a better question then, because I don't want to have to take this away from you.
Okay. Is this game sci-fi? There you go. There's my question.
No.
All right.
All right. In the broad definition, is this game a platformer?
Yes.
Okay. So, platformer, not sci-fi.
A human.
But you're a human and you shoot things.
On PS4 first before.
What about something like a Pantheon? Something like
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
it's like this Greek mythology style.
It's a fucking cool game, is what it is.
It's a cool game.
It's really goddamn cool.
Just look it up and watch gameplay. It's cool. It's like the Greek style, like pottery art throughout the whole game. That's the art style of the game, and you're playing as these black silhouettes that go across this orange and red.
Corey, you can just stop right now. He's never gonna play it.
No,
I'm just going to look it up. It looks cool.
I'm also not going to do that.
See, I know John Black Mage Martin.
I've got too much other shit going on. No.
Okay.
You got it. Didn't we get it for fucking free?
Yeah,
fucking free. After a while, you have it free if you get the PlayStation games every fucking month.
I don't.
You are the fucking worst. You're the worst. You're the
Can we calm down? Can we calm down and get back to the goddamn game?
Planet?
Oh, it's so rich. It's so rich, John Martin. Can we calm down?
I'm done. I'm fucking done. I can't even with this guy. I can't even.
Bring it down a few notches, Moose. Goddamn it. I'm out of
John
here.
Martin's like, let me show you how we do it in Texas.
It's fucking free games.
I forget. I'm busy, motherfucker.
You have a month.
I'm gonna send you a reminder, like I sent my friend a reminder.
Go download the free
games. Yeah, just be like, download the free games.
That's bullshit. Like, why can't it just like there should be an automatic option for that?
I agree.
Download the shit automatically.
Every week on the Brew review, guess what? The first thing I'm going to say is, "Hey, John, go download these games."
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right.
Is that a mop?
Gone.
Sorry. Sorry.
Are you in a broom closet, Moose?
Kind of am. Anyways, it's the spare room of the house. It's where the PC is. So, anyways, it's my question, isn't it? Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're terrible at keeping track. Come on.
Season 4.
That's why I do it.
Platformer. You play as a human, and it was.
Don't Google it, motherfucker.
I'm not Googling anything.
I'm just making sure.
Not Googling anything. Hands up. Sit down, hands up. So. Fuck them. There's been so many goddamn indies that have been released. They're 2D side scrollers.
There has. It's.
Is this a game either of us own?
Yes. How much
What
does
about-
that lose?
What
It
about
helps me a fucking shit ton. It's 1,000 spikes.
That's the game?
how do we narrow that down?
I think so.
I don't know anything about that game. How do we narrow that down?
I don't know. I don't know if it was I don't know if it came out on anything else, but
I know it's on Wii U.
All right.
But it came out on.
Does the title have
or
a
PS
numerical number in the title?
No.
All right.
Okay.
It's not 1,000 spikes.
Is Salt and Sanctuary out yet?
it is out. And it came out on the PS4, and I don't think it's on PC, but it's
It's on PC.
either. Is it? But it did not launch on PC first. It came out
Correct.
on PS4. And you can shoot stuff because that's magic.
Yeah. Okay. Is this a
Sanctuary? Corey, I hate you. But anyways,
what?
Do you hate him? What if you win?
Because you thought of it.
What if you win?
Is this a side-scrolling Dark Souls-y type game?
It can be construed as that, yes.
All right.
What does that tell you?
Because that could be construed as that. Do you guys want me to ask who the developer is? Because I know who the developer is.
Yeah.
Sure.
You should ask him if he's going to feel salty if we win.
Is the developer?
That's a dick question, Corey.
You know what was a dick question?
What?
When you said Rock Band on PS2. Wasn't really a question.
That wasn't what I said. You just didn't know that Rock Band came out on PS2. It's not my fucking fault you lost.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Get over it.
Ladies.
It's season 2, motherfucker.
Ladies, it's a whole new season. Corey, we can get a point each here. We can fucking bury him. That's our fucking job, all right? Anyways.
Okay. At least fucking attempt.
That's right. In Gid we trust. Was it developed by Ska Studios?
No.
So it's not Solemn Sanctuary.
Correct, it's not Solemn Sanctuary. But that's a good call.
Because you do shoot stuff. You can be a mage and shoot shit in that game. Could be construed as a Souls-like game.
Do you play... All right, here's my question. Do you
Wait.
Go ahead.
Let us know your question before you ask it.
Yeah.
We're down to like 4 questions here.
That's a good one.
No, you got 3 left. Okay, you've got 3.
My
18,
question,
19, and 20.
hypothetically...
19 and 20, so we got 3. All right.
My question, hypothetically, may be whether or not you get to select a character type.
I'll tell you right now, it's a dumb question.
That's a dumb question?
That's a dumb question.
I'm fucking done with you ask whatever questions you want. This game sucks.
Corey, I'm going to punch him in the face when I see him next week.
No, I'm still here.
Cannot wait to do this show in 2 weeks with a black fucking eye.
I'm still here. What am I asking? Fuck it. I'm done. You guys just tell me what to ask. I'll ask it. I don't care anymore.
It's on PlayStation 4. Came to other. It's a 2D platformer.
Right now, my next question would hypothetically be: is it a black guy? I don't fucking know. I'm done. I hate this game.
What about
is the main character a racist?
Not a hero. Not a hero. Is not a hero exclusive to PlayStation 4 and PC?
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Fucking know.
What the fuck good are you, John?
I'll be honest with you. I'll give you a clue. I don't know what that game is, so.
Holy shit. I thought I was the only one who's going to say shit like that.
So it's not a hero. Not a hero.
All right.
So
can I narrow it down by time?
Not an answer.
Can I narrow it down by time? Like, should I just ask like if it's come out since a certain time? Like since see if it's come out since like 2015 or something. Narrow it down to it.
Sure.
Do it.
All right. Has this game released? Well, wait, no. Now I'm thinking, did we narrow it down between generations? We didn't, did we?
No, it's not on PS3 because I asked if it was on PS3, so it's on PS4.
Oh, okay.
So it's what, the 8th? Is that 8th generation? It's 8th generation.
And PS4 came out when? 2014?
2013.
2013.
November 2013 till now.
You guys know it's definitely a PS4 game, so check your dates.
I don't fucking know.
I'm once you get into that deep indie
pool,
thing.
It's a freaking chasm filled with water that you have to traverse.
Speaking of chasm, that's a really good game that needs to be released.
I know. It's going to be coming out later this year, I freaking hope, or I'm going to shoot the developer.
I'm moving on. Has this game come out in the last year?
Yes.
That was actually a good question then. Now you two who actually know shit about games, figure it out.
Oh
man. Okay, so it's my turn.
You know what? I don't care what happens, John. You're getting a point this time.
Points don't count.
He didn't hear me. He didn't hear me.
He doesn't give a shit anyways.
Nah, he probably.
Well, he could hear you. He only muted himself, so he can hear.
That's true. Hopefully, well, yeah, maybe I don't know if he didn't put his headphones down.
Yeah. Let's see.
So it has come out since June 29th of last year.
What if it's the fucking what if it's that fucking the Star Wars games? Wasn't Super Star Wars just released on the PS4 like this time last year?
That was like 2 years ago when Battlefront came out.
So it was 2 years ago. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you for helping me there, Corey.
Yeah.
Burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Is this a Metroidvania style game?
No.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? So I get number 20. I have no idea what.
Well, you get one question.
At least you're not John.
And then all of you get to pick on the game. John, I don't know if you heard me. I know you're back now. But I don't care what happens. You get a point.
Yay! I fucking love points. Points are fucking great.
Is a Pantheon on anything else? That's the only thing I can fucking. But that came out. Actually, that came out.
That came out way more than a year ago.
Yeah, it's way more than a year ago.
I'm pretty sure I platinumed that early in 2015.
I
don't even know. I have no idea.
Oh,
I platinumed Apotheon before I moved out of the house my wife and I lived in.
Who has the final thing?
Me.
Moose has the final question.
And this is the final question.
But you get the 20th question, then you get a guess.
Okay, so he's got the 20th, and then the guess is on me? No.
The guess is on
the guess is on the group.
Oh, okay,
you just have to state it. You just have to state it, Joe.
Good. All right.
Came out in the last year. Fuck if I know. I don't even know. Corey, I need help here. What are we gonna
You are
on your own.
He's not the PlayStation guy. This loss is all on you if we lose.
Here's I have no idea.
Side-scrolling platformer. You play human.
In the last year.
Dude, I can't even remember last week.
I know, right?
Okay, I have to clarify a question.
Okay.
I fucked up. This is my fault. It did not come out within the last calendar year, originally.
You're a real son of a bitch. You know that?
Hey,
So what the fuck does that mean? Is it a remaster or a re-release?
I'll give you a free one. It's not either one of them. Well, kind of. It is one of those.
Son of a bitch.
What does that fucking mean? He loses automatically. He loses automatically because he doesn't fucking know.
No, I don't.
He fucking shit on the bed.
Because here's the thing. Corey, I gave you an additional piece of information.
Rule down from the Nerds Gone Rogue throne that he loses.
No, there's no throne. He and I share it. So
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Oh, I do.
He just gives you this shit little jester slot because that's what you are.
Is that not important?
Yeah, but not as important as the queen or king.
Are you calling
the queen?
The queen?
I'll be the queen. Oh shit,
Corey, let's be honest. Are you into ass play?
What the? Can we get on track so we can finish this up?
Finish this.
It's your guess. You're the one who's got to get us on track.
No, it's his question.
Well, yes. That's what I meant.
now see, you got to give us an extra question because you fucked that one up.
Okay, fine. I'll give you 21. Good luck. Have fun. Does it help you?
No.
No,
Not at all.
Okay. So, you know what didn't come out in the last year? You know what's basically a remaster or a re-release? What have you got? Moose? I'm right here. Ask me the question.
We might just have to submit on this one.
I'm staring right into your soul.
Say,
because I'm not looking at you.
I know.
Not a multiplayer.
player, so it's all single player.
Gosh, I don't even know where to like begin. Like,
I wouldn't even have a guess.
Yeah, you spent all this time thinking you narrowed down shit.
I mean, we narrowed down a lot. I just don't
Did you?
know. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. All right, you're just trash talking right now, trying to get that.
This is true. This is true. I'm
Shut your
gloating at
fucking
this
mouth.
point. I'm gloating at this point. You know what this is?
Fucking
This
shut your mouth.
is Matt
I'm
enjoying.
a fucking
going to
bury
enjoy
you next week.
some Hell or High Watermelon.
That stuff is shit.
It's a victory.
It's horse piss.
Oh, it is.
It's horse
It's
piss.
great when you're winning. I'm just going to say that right now.
I don't understand how people like that.
And it's Corey's game next week, by the way. Not yours, Moose.
Well, that's fine with me. I'll come up with a real
All right.
fucker.
Oh, I'll bet you will.
Geez, I don't even know right now. I have nothing to say. I mean, if somebody has something to guess,
I don't even have anything to guess. This is all on Moose.
I can't think of anything right now. I just can't.
You've got 2 extra questions, Moose. Come on. I'll give them both to you. You and me, man. Come on. Come on, Cletus. I'm right here. Come on. Let's do this. I'm right here.
I asked if either one of us owned this, right, Corey?
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't have my headphones on, so I look completely discredible. But what'd you say?
Did he say yes or no?
Did I
He said
answer?
yes. One of you own it.
One of us own it.
We do own it.
Fucking piece of
Ask.
shit.
Shoot.
It's probably a game I own. That would be the fucking killer.
It is.
I'm trying to think of like.
Ask him if it's a game you own.
Ask him if it's procedurally generated.
Is the game procedurally generated?
Nope.
Okay. I was thinking something like Darkest Dungeon, but like
That's a
most of
good
that's procedurally generated.
I owned that before Moose was around.
So that was my last hope.
But that came out on Vita and PS4. It wasn't just PS4. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, stop talking about what you don't know.
But
Start talking about what you think it
I
could
mean, I'll be honest with you, the release structure does kind of fit with what I'm going at.
John, it's your question.
No, it's not my question. You guys made that clear. It's the group question.
I get. Well, I've given you guys 21.
We get one more question because he fucked up on one.
But you all get to collaborate on this one, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, but this isn't the final guess, right?
No, it's not. No. We get this last question and then we get a final guess. So let's discuss it.
There's nothing to discuss. I don't even know a game that it could. I don't have a name of a game. We have to have a starting point. What game is possible that it could be? If none of us have an answer for that, we don't have a final answer.
Yeah.
The prospect of this victory is erotic to me. I just want to let you know.
Guess we know what Matt's doing after this episode.
Yeah. And you know what? You should enjoy it. Because you earned it. Because I don't have a game that I could even name. I couldn't guess a game right now. I couldn't come up with one to throw out there.
I couldn't either, to be honest with you.
So it doesn't matter what
The only person, I'll be honest with you, the only person, the game I have, it's fucking tailored to Moose. I'll be honest, I completely picked this out of spite.
I'm sure you did, you fucking piece of shit.
Because of that Battle of Olympus bullshit. This is literally me shoving a cock of death into Moose's mouth.
Not really, but if you want to think of it,
I'm literally doing the Al Sharpton from South Park kiss it.
All right, I give up.
I give up.
I give up.
That's for damn sure. I give up. Moose, you have nothing. Just give.
I give up.
Moose, okay, then I will give you your final question. You can ask me if this game is over.
Is this game over?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes.
Now I'm interested.
It is.
What is it?
Hang on. I'm going to show you.
He doesn't even
You have
remember
to
the name
look
of
it
the
up?
game.
Jesus Christ.
No, because I had Wikipedia up.
You're the worst human being of all time.
He is the worst human being of all
Your
time.
game is not even ready.
What is that? Say something so I can see
Ah, Slade! Oh, fuck you.
Nope.
asshole.
Slane, Back from Hell, the
I've never
most
even heard of that.
metal of games since the original Doom. And you want to know why? You go to that game and you watch the credit sequence. It is someone with blood in their hair headbanging the entire time as credits roll by.
You guys got to
Fucking
make
amazing.
you guys got to make rules on how obscure these games are.
This game just came out this year.
It's obscure as hell.
It was
got
originally released March of last year.
On PC.
And
On
no
PC.
one knows that but you.
But then they took it off Steam
Yep.
and re-released it
No, they
on
remastered.
Steam
They
and
remastered.
PS4 as Slain Back from Hell, where they tweaked the mechanics.
Oh,
And
so you know all this now, Moose.
Yes, I know that game.
Oh.
I have that game.
Oh. Well, good fucking job, you.
And I'm gonna be real with y'all. The one lie I've perpetrated this entire time is there was a third game I have played. I played Slain for about 4 hours yesterday. That game is fucking good.
Yeah, no, I know it's good. I played it.
The
I hate
game
it
is
now. Here's what you just did. You just made it to where I'll definitely avoid that game with.
well.
No,
I'm gonna ask
somebody
you a
will
question.
say, "Hey, do you want to play
Hey, John.
Slain?" I'm gonna say, "No, fuck that game."
Well, no, because they won't ask you because it's a single player game. Do you like Castlevania?
He
Yes.
doesn't like anything.
You shut up.
Do you like
You
Castlevania?
lost this game. You own this and you lost. You don't get to talk no more, Moose.
He doesn't like fun. He doesn't
You're-
like
you're-
fun.
Ah,
How do you not guess a game you own over there?
jeez.
Do you know how many?
Yeah, you don't know how many
Alright.
games Moose owns.
Let's just wrap this up before anybody.
That is the haystack I hid this needle in. I knew what the fuck I was doing this time. I came to goddamn play.
Oh,
Guess
That
who's
actually-
getting
well,
PSN
You
card
better, you,
wasn't that
two
good.
seasons in a row?
Your
you better
opponent
bring
owns
your
the
A
game.
game. You better bring your A game in 2 weeks, buddy. 2 weeks.
Oh, I'll bring it, Moose. Oh,
Okay.
I'll bring it. I'll be studying.
You better be.
that
studying.
was an interesting game. I would have never even gotten that. So
Now,
well,
seriously though, seriously,
that's-
all bullshit aside, all problems between Battle of Olympus and Moose's bullshit and me aside, play Slain Back from Hell. It's fucking.
It's good. No.
It's
It's
fucking cool.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Nah.
good.
Nah.
well, all right. Well, that's gonna wrap up this episode of NGR Radio. I hate Matt forever. John, thanks for
I need
joining
Andre.
us on this episode. Why don't you remind everybody where we can find you?
I don't fucking know. I don't care anymore.
I'll tell you, you can find him at John's Brew Review on Instagram. It's good. It's a good feed. You should check that shit out. He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing.
like
You can find him at John's Brew Review on YouTube, where
No.
most recently he and his beautiful wife, his absolutely adorable wife, my girlfriend said so. Sammy reviewed. I forget the name of the beer, but they reviewed
El
it.
Guapo.
What is it?
They reviewed it.
Gauche?
El Guapo together. It was a tequila aged goze.
Ghost.
Sure.
Ghost.
Yeah,
we don't
whatever.
know how to fucking say that word.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
I'll
It's like
admit
it's like
that.
one of those
Nobody does.
ancient Basque words that people just say, "Hey, we pull out our tongues." I don't know. But they did that, and it is an adorable review, and I think the rapport between John and his wife Sammy is absolutely awesome.
And now you can also find us on ngr.com.
And now you can
NGRradio.com.
find the Brew Review stuff on ngrradio.com.
Yep, I actually put it all up there while we were recording. So
I saw it.
everything John's done is up to date on the website. So if you go there, you can find it there as well.
And
There are links to his YouTube channel on each page on GR Radio. So if you go there to watch it, just click on the link and it'll take you to his YouTube page, subscribe, all that good stuff.
My YouTube page is awesome, so come check it out.
John,
Yeah.
Jesse, Corm, myself, We get into some bullshit and some good times, and we just love beer. Moose has been on an episode. We're gonna have him back, and
whenever, Jim.
I think in terms of the people who know the least about anything, we know the most about beer.
So I'm down with that.
Moose, where can we find you?
At Sven, SVHENN, on PSN, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'm on Xbox, but I don't have an Xbox, so I don't really play there anymore. So if you add me, you'll never see me.
Yep.
Those are the places you can find me.
Matt?
Infinite_rewind on PS4, Wii U, and every single social media platform I want to be on. If it's a social media platform and you're talking to someone named Infinite_rewind and doesn't have this dumb face attached to it, or they don't say this dumb shit that comes out of this face, chances are eventually they will show you their penis, and it's not me. I guarantee you mine is way less impressive. So find me on the Brew Review, the Platinum Achievement Podcast, if it ever airs again. I don't know what's going on there. And Instagram, that's where I post I actually posted a lot of pictures from my Chicago trip, which was fun.
It looked fun.
Oh, it was great. I went to Three Floyds Brewing. Oh my God, the beer there is great. The atmosphere kind of sucks. I'm actually in the middle of a write-up about that place.
You're doing a review on the whole brewery, right?
Yeah, but the beers I tried were fucking phenomenal. Like,
nice.
Don't if you can get Three Floyds, don't sleep on it. Do it. Don't go to. They play a lot of terrible. I'm okay with metal, but they play a lot of bad metal. There's a place in Chicago that plays good metal, serves good food, and has good beer on tap. That's called Kuna's. Go there. Otherwise, find me here at ngrradio.com. I actually am in the midst of 3 album reviews from this year. And I keep saying that eventually I have to actually fucking put them up. So I'm sorry.
You never will. You never will.
Fuck you, Moose. I'm putting them up.
Not today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 3 beers in. That's not happening.
Never.
But, I've finally gotten everything I could out of the new Father John Misty album, as well as the new Fleet Foxes album and the Dirty Projectors album.
I heard the Fleet Foxes album's pretty good.
It's fucking cool, man. Like, I know you're more of a rock person. It's kind of indie folk, so it might just blow right past you.
Yeah, no, but I like, Lumineers is not indie anymore, but that's kind of folkish. So it just depends. If it's got enough of a kind of a rockin' beat, I'll listen to it. But if it's too folk to where I'm like,
I think this might be
grassroots.
This might be too folk. But the thing is, I think this is actually one of the most ambitious productions since probably XTC era Skylarking, or you could probably put it in the same conversation production-wise as Smile by the Beach Boys. And it is beautiful, it is complex, and I think if you sit back and sort of try and take in the lyrics, it says a lot. So seriously, don't sleep on that album. Corey, I've talked enough. Take us home.
You can find me on Instagram at CoreyNHD. You can also find me streaming some stuff on Twitch at twitch.tv/CoreyNHD. You can follow me on Twitter at CoreyHudsonNHD. You can find a whole bunch of our content, including new content coming soon. Moose, John's Brew Review, Matt, Nintendo Pal Block, all that stuff. You can find it all on ngrradio.com and on our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and share. No matter if you're on podcast service or on YouTube, it really helps discoverability for everyone. So please rate us. Please leave a review. And we're heading on the back end of 100 episodes. We're on 51. So, hopefully
we'll get there.
Hopefully we're having this conversation next year at 100. John, thanks again for joining us tonight.
Thanks, John. It was fun.
Matt, me. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next week.
Matt.
Look, before I know Corey said
just shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
I'm gonna say this. I could not be happier to have Moose here, and I know Moose is gonna fuck it up old school on the PlayStation stuff. John, I can't wait to talk to you about beer.
Yes, tomorrow. New episode tomorrow.
Nice. Looking forward to it. All right.
You mean I get drunk again?
Yes.
Banana and out.